All right. I think we're rolling.
Rolling.
Hello, Barry.
Rolling.
What's new? What's exciting?
Not much. It's very
What's
smoky out.
well, it's Canada's on fire, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
My neighbor was saying he was driving home from work and he couldn't see a mile in front of him on the highway. Was
Oh
all the
yeah?
smoke. It did start like after 4 o'clock. It started to get real smoky again. I
No
noticed it
kidding.
last night. I could actually smell it last night when I took the trash out. But yeah,
So it's been like that up in Minnesota for a while.
has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All right,
figured it would.
I gotta change the view up a little bit because I'm using my new computer that my wife got me for Christmas, and I finally set it up in the last week.
About
So
time.
yeah, that's what she said too. She came downstairs and saw I put it together, and she was like, "Oh, did your other one break?" And I was like, "No, smarty."
Not yet.
So I got that one. I got that one. I got my old gaming laptop. Um, so I got that still. I still have it, obviously, and I'm going to use it for when the real rare times that I do any kind of video editing. Um, I'll use it for that. So anyway, today it'll be Ruby Red Squirt, one of the tough to find, but it's an excellent tasting, refreshing beverage. It is difficult to track down, and the Ruby Red Squirt Zero is even more difficult to track down. So
We were looking for a cheerwine over in Texas, but it's not out there. It's out east further, I think, in the south.
there are a lot of like old timey sodas. There's a store and it's called Runnings. I don't know. I mean, you guys. I mean, do you have any of these? I don't know if it's a chain. It's got to be
We
a
had,
chain.
I don't. We had something similar, I think, if it's what I think it is. But
Yeah.
we
So
call
it's
it
like
pops.
yeah. So Runnings is a home.
Franks.
It says home farm and outdoor store.
Ooh.
So it is a So I don't know if it's I think it might be part of a larger whatever thing, but I mean there's stores that are in the Minnesota area, and there might be more, around. Yeah, I'm like looking on their store thing. So I mean, like, you can go there and buy live chickens. You can go there and
You
buy
always need chicken.
you can buy a shotgun, and you can
I already
also
got one. I'm good.
yeah, there you go. Chainsaws,
Got one.
some like a leather
Like a tractor
chaps.
supply.
Yeah, it is kind of like a tractor supply, but they also have like a lot of food and stuff too. It's weird. So I don't know. It's a fun little place to go. So
Ziegler's. That's it.
yeah,
There
but
is a store around here. It's up by Lancaster, up by the Amish. That sounds familiar, or like that. I just can't. Ziegler's. I can't remember the name of it.
no. But no, so like but the big thing is that like we'll go there for like they have all these old tiny sodas. It's weird. It's like all stuff. Ooh, I just went to their website. The Savage Axis XP 270 30-06 SPFLD with scope.
Because you need a
Only
scope on that.
only $380.
That's
Marked
actually kind
down
of cheap.
from the retail price of $460.
Yeah.
So
Because you need a 30-06.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you heard of this? You can get a Savage Access XP 270 WI Winchester with scope, a Savage Access XP 30-06, Springfield with scope, and a Savage Access XP 22 250 Remington with scope. All $380. Pick one of each. Just pick up one of buy one for the garage and for the shed and for the house.
Just cool. No, they're popular hunting rifles and shotguns, from what you said there. They're pretty popular with hunting.
Yeah, I know. I'm cracking wise,
Yeah.
as it were. You know,
My
so.
neighbor actually has me to write a reference for today for our concealed carry license.
Oh yeah,
I say yeah, so yeah, give me the paperwork. I'll fill it out later on. Yeah, it's
fair enough.
you got here in Delaware, you got to post in the paper, and then I think she said 5 references or something like that, personal references, to have a concealed license,
Hmm. Hey Kip.
which I
Hey
did not
Nathaniel.
know because I'm not big into handguns, never was.
Yeah. Um. The world of wrestling lost in the legend today. The
The
Iron Sheik.
Sheik, yeah,
The Iron Sheik, 81.
yeah, the lower off life.
From what I understand, he definitely had the last few years he'd had some pretty bad health. He was
Yeah,
declining pretty but if you followed his Twitter, like when he got on Twitter, everything was in all caps, and usually they would end up with F Hulk Hogan was something he said a lot in any of his
yeah, he did not
things.
like the Hulkster.
There's a lot of people who they are the impression that like Hulk like screwed him over, or
Yeah,
like things like
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
there's some unresolved anger issues about what have yous, and whatever you're gonna be there. So um yeah.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah.
I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, 81.
81 years old.
And
Yeah,
he
them
was
wrestlers have it rough towards the end. They beat the hell out of their bodies. Yeah, their backs, the knees, the shoulders.
it it depends on a lot
The
on
older
the
ones I'm talking
wrestler,
about.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean there are a lot of them that
The new ones got smarter about it. Yeah.
yeah. So but he beat the great Bob Backlund to get the championship, because he was just a uh in wrestling terms, he was just like I feel it's like a handshake. It's like a handshake championship. So
Right.
you can't have a good guy beat a good guy. So you
You need to heal.
yeah. So you need the heel to have it, and then he dropped it almost immediately to Hogan, afterwards. So there you go.
A lot of them guys are dying off now, I guess. They're getting that age. Ric Flair's still alive, right? I think I see something of him recently.
Well, Ric Flair's getting old,
Yeah,
definitely.
he's up. He's still alive, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake, is he? I know he was doing real
Jay
rough for a
Snake's still
while.
around.
I
He's still around. Yeah.
know
So
he was in the attic for a while. Didn't
people
the
get old.
announcer just died? Mean Gene, is he still around?
Mean Gene, no, he passed away 4 or 5 years ago now, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
I thought I heard something like that. Yeah, I never. My cousins were more in that. My one cousin was more in that. I never really was, but I do remember some of them older guys, Axel, Jim Duggan, and them.
but yeah, so there's that. Um,
There's that. I threatened to beat the shit out of an 8-year-old this week. That was fun.
that sounds like something you could be arrested for.
It could be, but the cop was his father, so I think it was good. Yeah. I was helping
Uh,
my neighbor out with a motor in his pool, and the kid just wanted to help, but he kept throwing the switch, which activated the motor. So I said a couple times politely, and then the last time I was like, "All right, 4 times is enough. Stay away from the switch, or I'm going to beat the shit out of you." Yeah, because if I get electrocuted, I'm going to be highly upset. And then I found out it was 220 when I thought it was only 120 or 110. So I would have been really upset if I got hit by that.
mm.
220 hertz.
Hey, Stick. Check Razor, what's wrong with the Twins offense? They're horrible. That's just what they are. They're just horrible. They are. If they weren't in the Central, they would be they are the worst team with I don't even know if they have a winning record still, but yeah, they're horrible. We lost. It's something like our 8th consecutive game of something like 8th consecutive game of scoring 2, 3 or less runs or something like that. It's just they can't hit a lick, and they're awful. And I mean it's tough to be a fan. What are you gonna do? You just gotta, I don't know. You gotta believe or whatever, you know.
Just believe.
Trying to think of anything really exciting has happened at all. Not really. I mean, trying to get this damn monitor to work. I'm getting mad at it.
It did do nothing. It's not your fault. His fault. You don't understand what it's doing.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Oh, well. When in doubt, unplug it and plug it back in.
That always works.
No, it didn't work this time. No, I don't know. I'll monkey with it later, I suppose. I'll probably monkey. Yeah, see, it's gonna bother me now. It's gonna bother me now. I'm gonna be staring at it, and it's gonna be bugging me, and I'm just gonna be
Mock you.
Yeah, exactly. Because my system still thinks it's there. It just and it was turning on just a second ago, and it still has power. So I don't know. Goddamn things. You know what I don't like? I don't like touch screen power buttons. I like power buttons that click, because like when you're touching it and like it's a touch screen thing, so you can't tell if it's actually doing anything.
Yeah.
That stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Soon everything will be touchscreen.
I don't know. That sounds like a cantankerous, cranky old man thing to be complaining about, though. So
It is. No, I understand, especially since I have finger issues.
yeah, no. Got any grievances?
It took 2 weeks for me to get my guitar back. That's one grievance, but other than that, it sounds a lot different. It's all we do is set it up and change the strings, so it sounds a lot brighter. Like, it's weird. It's got to be different strings. Same gauge, just different types of string, I guess. I don't know. So I've been reacquainting myself with that. I realize it's been like 3 weeks since I played it. I dropped it off before I went to BGG Spring, thinking when I get back it would be done, but they didn't pick it up that week. They picked it up the next week. I finally got it back. So it's been 3 weeks since I played it last. I missed it.
So what was wrong with it? Just
No, when I got it, normally when you get a brand new guitar, you're supposed to take it to a guy to set it up. You know, they'll adjust the height of the action and any high spots on the frets or anything like that. I never did that. I just dropped the action lower enough that I felt comfortable to play with. Yeah. So I figured while I was in Texas, I'd send it out so they could do it professionally, you know, and somebody who knows what they're doing with it. So all they did is just set it up, the action with the new strings and all that. But it sounds a lot different, like I said, and it's a lot easier to play. Yeah.
yeah.
But I guess it was worth the 2 week wait. Yeah.
Well, can you really tell a difference now, or?
Yeah, I can. It's like I said, it's a lot easier to play. I hit the notes easier. I don't have to press as hard to hit the notes against the frets, stuff like that. The strumming hand feels smoother too.
I got you. Hey, Jen.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Were you talking about a guitar?
Yes, I just started to learn how to play the guitar earlier this year.
So did I about 3 months ago.
Yeah, February, I think. Yeah, February is when I started.
But I talk guitars while I monkey with my monitor. Hold on.
Okay.
I discovered that I'm exquisitely uncoordinated.
Just need practice. Yeah.
Have you played before?
Very briefly, like 20, 30 years ago, for like 6 months or so. I'm a lot further now than I was then.
Did you get an acoustic or an electric?
No, I got a electric. I got a Gibson, an Epiphone Gibson Les Paul.
Oh, that's beautiful. I've heard that they're easier on the left hand than an acoustic guitar. Is that right?
Yeah, I started on an acoustic. Yeah, they are. They're much easier. You don't have to press as hard on the left hand with an electric as you do with an acoustic. Well, I guess it depends on the acoustic guitar you're using too. Yeah. But yeah, they're a lot easier in one sense and harder because they pick up everything. Where every minor mistake you make twitching the finger or something, it'll pick it up, especially when it's plugged into an amp.
My problem is my nails are just a little too long to hit like perpendicular to the key to the strings, and so I end up deadening a string next to the one I'm trying to press down.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how to get around that with fingernails. I never played with them.
I clip the nails. That's basically all I can do. So.
But yeah, it's been fun and adventurous. Yeah, I had some neurological issues with my hands and legs and all that, so this was just something to get my hands back.
That's a nice physical therapy, then, isn't it?
Yeah. Should have picked the piano. It would have been easier, but
also more expensive, I think, right?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
To buy a piano versus a guitar?
I guess you get like electric keyboard or something. Yeah. I guess they're pretty cheap nowadays. I don't know.
Do you mind if I ask you what you paid for your guitar?
This was about 400 with the guitar and amp.
That's
the guitar itself's like 250, 300, something like that.
Did you buy it used?
No, this is brand new.
Oh,
it's
wow.
2022.
Nice.
My wife got it for me for my birthday or Christmas, actually.
Happy Christmas birthday.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, my birthday just passed, so it's in my head. It was just Monday or Sunday.
Really? Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Did Lance sing to you?
No, he's an old he's an old curmudgeon. We don't pay attention to him.
He should sing happy birthday to you, I think.
No, please don't do that to me. You haven't heard him sing.
Yeah, I got the damn thing to work, but what the hell? It's being so touchy.
Stuck on this monitor.
Hey, when something doesn't, so there's something that's weird about me, and it's just when something doesn't work right, like I become fixated on it, especially when it was working just fine, and then it's like if it's something I know that I can monkey with and fix, like I can't leave it alone. It's kind of like if I realize I don't remember where I put my wallet at night. And I was like, well, it's gotta be in the house somewhere. I'll find it tomorrow. I can't go to bed until I find it. I will be up until 2 o'clock in the morning, tearing the house apart, trying to find it.
That's why you put it in the same spot every day.
Thanks, Dad.
No, I understand.
I do have a grievance though.
You always do.
Well, no, I don't always.
Is it a good one? Should we wait for Scott or?
Yeah, we can wait for Scott.
How do I bring my video back?
Is it like a square somewhere on your?
Yeah, sometimes it shortens down to like a square that's like this big, and it'll be in a corner of your monitor.
I'm gonna move to another room to try to get more light, so I'm just gonna leave and come back.
All right, we'll see you shortly.
Ta-ta.
Jenny.
Who
is Jenna Kincaid? What does she? Is she a board game or what is she?
I'll let Jen explain that.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's Aldi tonight?
Well, it's 9:30. I don't know. He might have went out to dinner with Michelle or something. You never know.
On
soon,
Alaboom night? That's not allowed.
It's Scott. He's a busy man.
He's not a busy man.
I don't know. Crystal.
He has an empire and he just lets it run.
Yeah, pretty much. But Christoph might still be in town. I don't know. The Spiel guy.
No, the Spiel guy.
He was a good time, Christoph. I enjoyed him. He was a very fun guy.
Yeah, just keep dropping names like you're cool.
But, yeah, he was. I encourage anybody who can get taught by a person from the Spielberg to get taught a game by the person by a Spielberg. You know,
So you're saying they're better than me?
much better, more pleasant too.
Hmm. Highly dubious.
Highly dubious.
Highly dubious. Let me see. Drag that tab. Put that over there.
Scott did get a new pinball machine when I was down there, so he might be playing that.
Pinball wizard.
I forget which one he said it was. They just got it in when I was at the shop at his base there. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
No. He's got a nice little collection there.
I have
So
like you're back.
yeah, but I don't have my video up.
You still don't have your video on?
You won't you hit the all. I mean, you got a Windows or a Mac?
Windows.
You can go Alt Tab, and can you find it that way?
No, I can see you guys. I just don't see myself in the very top of the screen with all you guys' little pictures.
Well, you go to the view on the top right, and then click on that, and then if you go to and you make sure you select gallery, and then you'll see everybody.
I can, but I can't see myself.
Well, that's really odd.
Well, I did this thing to try to hide my video because I thought it would just make me disappear while I walked away for a minute, but it actually just turned my video off so I can't see it. And I don't know how to turn it back on.
You just should never mess with anything.
I know. I suck.
Technology.
I know, right?
So it seems like everybody wants to learn how to play guitar now. I mean, I don't want to.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's funny you bring that up. My brother was actually talking to me yesterday about it, or the day before. He's going to pick up an acoustic guitar. I was suggesting him to go to a store and feel the necks of them and all that, first before buying one. Before, you wanted to order one online. I suggest you go to a store, feel them.
I got it.
There you go.
On your little pictures in the top gallery, there's a little 3 dots, and it says you can hide or show self view, and that was it.
I did not know that existed. I don't look at that stuff. There we go.
All right, so I'm sorry.
Can we hide Lance? Is that an option?
Hilarious.
Well, Lance used to play the clarinet. Was it Lance or
no? I played the trombone.
Trombone. I knew it was some kind of blowing thing.
I play.
Do you still play
the trombone?
Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll play my kids' trombones, like when I'm just goofing around.
Yeah,
but not like what?
Do you enjoy it?
Oh, I did. I mean, I wasn't horrible. So, I mean, it was fun. But I mean, I just did band in junior high and high school, and then it was fun. I went on trips. Did jazz band on my trombone.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. But I don't know. And my mother made me take piano lessons for like 8 years. So I can play the piano if you give me enough time I can read sheet music.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. So the stuff just gets ingrained in your head. So you can't ever just gets locked in there.
I'm having to learn how to read music now, and it's difficult for me. And I don't know why. It's just
because you didn't learn when you were 5, or whatever. Like it didn't get drummed into you, and your brain was still like forming.
Able to learn.
Yeah.
I actually got to write out
solidified in there.
I actually got to write out the notes over the symbol, and that helps me. Yeah, that helps.
My teacher said, try using a metronome. I said, no, I don't need that pressure.
Yeah, that's something I haven't. A little bit. I messed with that a little bit. Not much.
But it's learning instrument right now, is great because it builds up new neural pathways and makes your brain more resilient for getting old. It's wonderful.
Who
Yeah.
wants your brain to be resilient?
Nah, that's why I smoke weed. Do the opposite.
Yeah, well, the government want me to have bodily autonomy, so why would they want me to have a brain?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. Sorry, text message. Where's I'm trying to see. I've got a couple of grievances. And this one's just and you guys have heard me complain about this stuff before. If I go to the trouble of sending out emails to people saying, hey, there's a problem with your pledge, we need to fix this and figure this out, kind of thing. And you go to the trouble of answering that email I sent you because it's the email that you placed your order with us. So that's how I know you. If I want to track down your order and track down what's going on with you, that's what I need. And you go to the trouble of like taking the message you got and emailing me back from another email that doesn't even have your name in it. It's just like, JP Niner at whatever.com or whatever, and then you're mad at me that I can't track down your order because you can't even be bothered to give me the basic information of finding you. Yeah, I hate those people. They annoy the hell out of me. I don't even understand. But yeah, it's just dumb. Oh good, Scott's here. He's got a fudgesicle.
Yeah,
A fudgesicle?
40
Yeah.
calories.
40 calories.
Ooh.
It's the best 40 calories, man. Seriously,
Yeah.
I live for these.
You
Michelle's
live,
laughing at me.
you live,
Michelle.
that's your
Well,
lifeline.
I normally have two of them because they're like come in pairs, but I've somehow given one away.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you love Michelle that much? You gave her half of your pack.
What's that? Oh, and she said, who would have eaten that? It was Michelle.
Yeah.
Because she only wants one, so there was a spare. Anyway, thanks, Michelle.
Fudgesicle. All right, you're here. I can give my grievance. All right, so I have my big aquarium.
Mhm.
What,
I-
I gotta say, Cosmic Frog was played by my cousins and my brother-in-law this weekend or past weekend at BGG Con, and they loved it.
Yay.
Oh, is that not a thing?
Is what not a thing?
Is it feedback
No, feedback's
for
wonderful.
Cosmic Frog?
I'm thrilled for it.
Oh my gosh, I think it was nonstop checked out at the convention. We didn't have a copy in the library from the last for some reason. The copy you sent me, I think or maybe I bought it. I don't remember if you sent it actually,
Okay, yeah.
I believe. And it did not make it to the library, but I put it in this time. It was like sitting at my house, should have been in the library. So my fault, but it is now in the library. And so I thought,
And people like it.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, I have something to show you. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I had a grievance.
I know, but I have to remember that before.
Well, it wouldn't be all
It all becomes about you,
if he didn't talk
Lance.
over
It's all
me
about
when
you.
as soon as you show up.
I didn't interrupt you. You didn't even get to start.
Good point.
I just despise you so
Let's see. Here it is.
Oh,
Can you read that?
yeah, I can't find the monk. Okay.
Fine talk. There it is. It's out. It's going to be released at Gen Con, and I'll have a copy for the BGG library.
Thank you.
My joy. I
Awesome.
was all set to surprise you. I didn't know that you knew about, my change.
I did not know, but I saw the last week's show and I was like, oh,
I just figured it out. The voice clicked.
yeah, well,
I was going
Well,
to
I
say,
mean, so
Well,
I mean, so Jen,
yeah, I guess I'm sorry.
You
I
wanna
spoiled your surprise.
you wanna take the floor at all
Yeah, I
with
mean,
anything?
I would
mean,
love
if
to
you-
know the details if you care to share them.
So, yes, so
Well, I do have a grievance. No, just kidding.
Fucking grievance.
Like,
Lance's grievance is he doesn't get to talk.
That's fine. No, Jen, you take over.
So, I started, I've known this about myself since I was earliest memories of second grade.
wow.
And, you know, you go through life and I grew up in an traditional Italian household in upstate New York. And so it was traditional, it was Catholic, it was mildly misogynistic, you know, the whole 9 yards. And so my job as a kid was to produce bragging rights for my parents, right? So these are the things you do and these are expectations. And as I got older, you know, the church, of course, beats into you that your thoughts are wrong. You are vile, right? So I ended up getting married. I told my now ex-wife at the time all about this before I got married, and said, as long as we're married, I will be the man you need me to be, no questions asked. And I would have been happy to do that, but she had other plans, and so I found myself freshly divorced in 2021. And I was seeing a therapist, you know, for couples therapy. And then I stuck around with her afterwards. And we were talking about this stuff. And everyone's telling me to do something for myself and do some self-care. And so I figured, I said, well, I can't. That's selfish, right? I have to do things for other people, not for myself. And that's when she said, you were raised Catholic, weren't you? And I said, yes. She said, Catholics
Original
are great.
kids.
Yeah, she said, Catholics are great at raising victims and martyrs. Which one are you? And I said, I think I'm both. So long story short, around December of 2021, I decided to test the waters with some testosterone suppressants. And then in February of 2022, I decided to try estrogen. And she gave me this letter of, you know, the diagnosis from the DSM-5 of dysphoria. And I decided that it felt good and it was for me. And so I've been pursuing this ever since. And then in March 31st of this year, I came out at work. And then since then, it's been fully out socially. And now I'm just in the process of getting a court date to change my name and legal gender. And there you go. So now I'm Jenna. Is that more than you wanted to know?
No, it's great. I'm happy for it. I'm just very happy for you.
Thank you.
I can't believe you've been putting up with it, suppressing it, I assume, for your entire life, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, Jenna, when you switched,
Yeah.
how did it feel? Like when you came out to everybody, how did it feel?
So, you know, people ask me that, and there are two feelings. One was coming out to everyone, like at work. And I have a little story about that if you want to hear it. And the other one was just accepting myself. And I think the hardest thing in our society, and I don't know if it's as hard for women as it is for men, is just to give yourself permission to do something or to feel something. So I had to really give myself permission to do this. And when I did, and people said, how do you feel? The only words that came to mind were authentic. I don't think I've ever felt authentic before.
Right.
And now I feel
Because you'd
authentic.
been suppressing that for
Yeah. Yes. And, you know, and even during the years when I started doing the medical transition, you know, I still was terrified. So I would present as James, and it's living a double life. It's like having a secret identity. And I don't know how Bruce Wayne pulls it off. It's really hard. Not to fool other people, but to keep it straight in your own head, you know, and to switch back and
right,
forth.
because you have to switch it. And
Yeah. So I was not going to come out at work until I retired in another 4 years. And then we had these weird, the universe nudges you in ways that are really interesting once you start to see what they are, or accept that it's nudging you. And for me, someone on Twitter posted this video of a woman named Paula Williams, who did a TED talk, like a 15-minute TED talk on her coming out, because she came out at 60 and transitioned at 60, and she was a white male CEO of a major religious organization and an evangelical preacher. And she says within a week, she lost all of her jobs, her TV show, her preaching, everything. And she talks about living as a man, living as a woman. And one of the things she said was, the call to authenticity has all the subtlety of a smoke alarm. And that really struck me hard. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get it. And then a few days later, I was doing training, right? Every company's got this annual training you have to go through, and our company's no different. And, you guys, know who I work for. And our training, the annual training, is on the corporate policies, right? You go through all the corporate policies, you get trained up on what they are, and you have scenarios, you answer questions and all this stuff like this. So one of our corporate policies is respect for people. And this year's scenario was about a person who works at the company who transitioned from male to female and was being misgendered and dead named basically by employees. And, they present the scenario and you're supposed to say, what should this person do? And the choices were report them to HR or give them more time to acclimate. And the correct answer was report them to HR. And they went through this whole thing about why it's disrespectful, why it shouldn't be done, what the proper behavior is. And then they went so far as to say that not just that, but any Lilly employee observing that has a responsibility to report it to HR. And I thought, okay, they just sent this message out to 40,000 people, right? They're not going to be able to walk this back. And then I'm looking at my one-on-one with my boss is coming up, and I realized if I pushed it out 1 week, it would fall on the Transgender Day of Visibility. I'm like, okay, that's the trifecta. And so that's when I decided to come out at work. I got to tell you, the company has been amazing. I cannot give them enough credit for the earnestness, the honesty, and the true, genuine acceptance that this company's given me. It's completely changed my mind about so many things.
That's good.
I think I got off track of the question.
No, that's how you felt. That's how you felt.
Oh, okay. So when I came out at work, how I felt was I felt stunned, because you always, especially in the current climate, right? In the current stuff going on in Florida and Idaho and Iowa and all these places, it's just, not what I expected. And I was stunned. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this in any other situation. Sometimes you feel like, this is so much better than I expected. What did I do to deserve this? I feel like, it's inappropriate. It's an inappropriate blessing. And that's how I felt.
Makes sense. That's cool.
Well, I'm really happy for you, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And
Because I know that must be I can't imagine, because
yeah,
things are different for me.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
You've been living it for your life, and now do you feel like you're free?
I do. I feel like I feel like when I use the word I really know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's weird. It's
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't quite describe it. You know what? For the longest time, I felt, the best analogy I can give is I felt like an actor who's always doing multiple plays and movies and stuff. And now I have dead time and I don't know what mask to wear. And so it's a little
I guess
unsettling.
you sort of figure out who you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Right.
So along those lines, I'll tell you, Scott, This fine muck is the last design that will be under the name James. All the further designs will be under the name Jenna. And the new game that I'm putting out is a little card game. Excuse me. It's called Murray the Asshole Frog. And I'm hoping to use it to
Sensing a
sort of-
pattern.
it just turned out that way. It really is. Yeah, it was not intended, but it just worked out perfectly. So I'm going to try to use it as a way to kind of showcase some diversity in the board game industry. So I'm going to be doing the design, trans woman, and the artist is a trans man. So it'll be, just something nice. So I'm sure that a lot of people will boycott it right off, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, screw those people.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
Part of the world we're living in.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
but
do
thank
people
you.
really boycott shit though? I mean, publicly they may, but privately, I don't really know if they do. You know?
Don't know. I mean, boycotts are hard, especially if it's a product that people like.
Yeah.
I mean, these people who are destroying Bud Light cans were, I think, so stupid in many ways. First off, because they had to actually pay for the beer they destroyed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, what does Bud Light care? What does Anheuser-Busch care? You already paid them.
Yeah. So, but before we go on to other topics, I want to say two things to Scott. Number one, thank you so much for the feedback on Cosmic Frog. That really warms my heart. I'm so glad that people are enjoying it. They'll enjoy it even more with the chip system that's coming out in the expansion. And number two is, it looks like you lost some weight.
Yeah, I lost a few pounds.
Yeah, you're looking good.
It's been a tough year. I don't know if the last time we spoke, honestly, I don't even.
It was a few months ago.
Probably a few months
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Still
this year's
winter.
been tough. Yeah, I mean, I'm still going through it, right? I mean, I'm trying to lose 100 pounds.
Wow, but this is deliberate, right? This
Oh, yeah,
is like,
it's deliberate. Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
purpose. So.
okay, well, you
yeah,
look
trying
really
to lose
good.
Thanks. Thank you.
It actually does in person. I
Appreciate
was worried. I saw you a picture of him before I went to the con. I was a little worried. You look a little sickly in the one, but he looks better in person.
It looked like I wasn't getting enough food.
Yeah, I see my uncle went through that. He had that bypass thing, and he got like that. He lost a lot of weight to the point where he looked sickly. Yeah, and he lost it in a very short, like 6
No,
months or
I've-
8 months.
I've basically stopped losing right now. I've sort of stuck for like the
Yeah.
past 6 months. So I'm sort of stuck at it like where I am since
What
August
do
of
you-
last year.
What are you doing to lose?
1,500 calories a day.
So
And I track it pretty well. I don't always, but when during the con, I'm like, we go out a lot and eat, eat
Yeah.
out. So I don't really I kind of lose track of it, but
so
yeah,
it's
just 1,500
just
calories a day.
strictly caloric moderation.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and I am on the Ozempic, or I mean, Wegovy,
Oh,
which is that injection, which I don't know if I thought it was working, but then I gained 5 pounds, which is
you know,
weird.
but
Pure muscle.
I mean, it's over
Yeah.
time. I've gained. Yeah,
Well-
when I started taking it, I lost like pretty fast, and then I've sort of slowly gained it back, and then I'm trying to get back to 1,500, just counting them.
well, I was
Seems like
told
it's really the only thing that matters.
I was told that the thing to watch is watch how your clothes fit, not what the scale says, because
Sure,
you'll gain muscle, which weighs more, you'll lose fat and so on, but
it is potentially.
but it'll, redistribute too.
Yeah.
So
I'm not really in any hurry. It's sort of, it's a life change.
Yeah,
yeah,
as long as you feel good while you're doing it.
yeah. And you're probably discovering a whole bunch of new foods and new ways to cook too, which is exciting.
I'm learning how to eat less, I think.
Yeah.
I still like sort of eat the same stuff, but it's just
Yeah.
like eat one thing instead of 2 or 3
Yeah.
things.
That's my Chewy's philosophy. I love to get the Chewy's Tex-Mex
The
special.
combo plates, then you get one
Yeah,
bite of each thing.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
like
gosh,
two
I love
enchiladas, Spanish rice.
We may be
Yeah.
going to Chewy's in the fall.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
I like the
bean.
Chewies.
but if you plate it
Never
instead
been
of
to
taking
Chewy's.
it out of the container,
Where
you
where-
get
you
two
have a
full meals
Chewy's?
out of it.
do you have a local Chewy's?
I do.
Where are you?
I'm in Geist,
Pardon?
Northeast Indianapolis.
Okay, that's right.
But
Chewy's is nationwide now, apparently.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, is it?
But like-
they're going around here.
I think it got acquired by a bigger
Uh,
company.
you got a Dickies up here. I noticed that was down there in Dallas all over the place. The barbecue.
Oh, Dickies, yeah, Dickies is everywhere here. I don't
What
like
I-
Dickies.
What I was gonna say though is that for me, plating the food instead of eating out of the container, it helps me eat less, and I usually get 2 or 3 meals out of each order instead of one.
Gotcha. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, I can
just,
see
you
visually,
know,
yeah.
it's hard because I like it. But yeah, gotta do it.
Yeah.
At least I think I do.
Well, how do you feel?
Same.
Any
It's
different?
not
energy
been great.
level?
It's not been great, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it's just,
Well-
it's weird, right?
But any
Yeah.
different energy level?
I mean, I guess I have to say yes, because that would be a lie. The bigger part is, I also got on, and I don't need to turn this into a health thing, but CPAP therapy, sleep apnea.
Oh,
So, and that diagnosis took a long time to get, and I felt maybe I should have gotten that. Like, I feel like I should have been on that for 10 years,
wow.
because that is a night and day difference, honestly. And if anybody,
Wow.
anybody who thinks that they wake up and are tired, CPAP therapy may be a solution. Just FYI,
Wow.
you should get a sleep test just to see what your sleeps are like, which is a take-home test now. You don't even have to study for it. You just take it home.
Mhm.
They do it like it's a little I think it's an app now, like a Bluetooth thing on your, like I wear like a little wristwatch thing. I did, Nikki took it, Nikki Lincoln's wife. She got hers tested with an app on her phone, and a little, just put a thing on your finger, measures your oxygen, done.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. Which
Nice.
I'm like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I can't sleep in the hospital anyway. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't barely
yeah.
sleep when I was in the hospital for those days. I slept little
Yeah. You
because
never
it's
do.
super uncomfortable, and
They constantly wake you up.
they're constantly waking you up, and then when you do fall asleep, it's like for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I know
but
the
anyway,
pain.
so that's been a game changer for sure. Which is weird. Which is good. But I do wish I had it like 10 years ago.
But sleep is huge. They're finding so much, so many problems are derived from lack of sleep.
Yeah.
And the blood pressure may have been related to that. Of course, being overweight doesn't help, but that
No.
could have also contributed to it, because it
Yeah.
basically makes it hard on your heart,
Yeah.
because you have
So
to
you-
wake up constantly. Yeah.
So you're being a shitty scientist by changing multiple variables in the same experiment.
Well, it wasn't all. Yeah, I mean, it took me till the end of the year last year to get my CPAP going. So, but I was sort of, the blood pressure was down a little, but now it's down quite a lot.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just need to make myself feel better now. Like, that I'm ready for that part.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm doing okay. I'm probably overreacting to it, honestly. Every little
Well,
thing.
how-
Like, is that a thing? You know, is that a blood pressure thing? Is that a blood
Mm.
pressure?
Yeah, you're still in that phase.
Still like analyzing what's different.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've had like really truly low blood pressure or normal. I'll call it normal for like probably 20 years,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is basically
Yeah.
how Tina Turner died.
So
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she had untreated blood pressure for her basically her whole life
Hmm.
since the 70s.
So I want to pick up on that for just a moment, because when I decided to make this change for myself, and when I actually started moving that direction, I ended up losing 20 pounds. My creativity and productivity went through the roof, and my blood pressure dropped from like the 150s over the hundreds down to the 110s over the 70s. So
Yeah, that's quite significant.
I mean, when you talk about these changes, even small numbers, it's amazing the things that we do that just all of a sudden it's like a release, like a catharsis.
Yeah.
And you know, you're putting yourself into that catharsis mode, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. I have a heart test tomorrow, so echocardiogram.
Oh, dude.
I'm sure you still have one.
Oh yeah,
They're always
the
fun.
check is still there.
Is that the one they got you on the treadmill?
No, I think this is just echocardiogram.
Oh,
That's
the other
all.
one.
Sounds
That's with the
horrible.
slime.
Run, dummy.
They pour a bunch of slime on your chest, and then they
Yeah,
tell you to
that one.
hold your breath for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's what the one. Which it shouldn't be too bad. The kidney scan was way worse, honestly. That was hours.
Is
Because
that invasive?
it was no. They were trying to keep me off that invasive one, and I said, look, if you don't know what enough anything at all right now, will the invasive one tell you even, like, will that be the answer? And I don't want to do it if it's not. Like I want a
Yeah.
definitive answer if it is. Like, and they're like, yeah, we're not sure. I'm like, okay, not gonna do it.
The trick to always ask is, if we
Do I
run this
need
test,
drugs?
no, if you run this test, will the results change your treatment program at all?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I did not. I'm sort of like shell shocked when I talk to these doctors because I don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a bad
Yeah.
relationship with doctors.
The other thing that we tell people is always, whenever you go to talk to the doctor, always have someone
Why?
with you.
Yeah.
Always what?
Always have someone else with you,
Okay, yeah.
because they will say
They
something,
advocate for you. Yeah,
your mind will wander, you'll get shocked by something, the other person will pick it up.
yeah. Michelle has been with me most of the time. Every time now, in fact. So
Perfect.
yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
And me vice versa. We schedule our appointments together. Like, so we have both at the same time.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It helps me go,
couples
honestly. Like, if it
do.
wasn't for her, I wouldn't go. For sure. I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
dead, most likely.
Well, I'm glad you're not.
Sad, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of am too. I had fun last week.
Are you Jen, are you changing your last name as well?
I'm going to keep Felly. I'm changing James Christopher to Jenna Kincaid. Kincaid is my great grandmother's maiden name and was the name of our tiny little Scottish clan back in the day.
Awesome.
Scottish, yeah.
Yeah, my father is having problems with me, but he's trying, and as long as he's trying, I'll keep the last name.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he's got to be in his 80s,
All right,
right?
Lance wants to do his
Yeah,
grievance.
I'm
now.
sure
No,
it's a
no, no.
shock.
It's kind of this. It's not much of a story anymore. So,
Oh, we've taken it all away.
You suck the wind out of his sails.
I'm sorry.
no, you have nothing to apologize.
Just one last thing, Aldi. So I already came out to.
What are you, Columbo? Just one more thing.
Just one more thing, sir.
They did a one more thing on the Apple conference the other day. I was like,
Did they?
yeah, they did. It was a they announced this new VR goggles.
Yeah.
They said, oh, just one more thing, which was a Steve Jobs thing.
So I already came out to Candace, and
Okay.
she already.
Oh yeah, are you going to do another interview?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Maybe,
I
but
guess, I guess it would still not really be different, right? I guess it's just
whatever. But she told Eric,
Yep.
and the point I'm making is that Eric said, whenever I'm ready, he'll change whatever needs to be changed on
Yeah.
your and on my page.
yeah.
and
If you
all
want to
that.
change,
Yeah.
I mean, we can update it at the master record too, if you want to have it linked under your what do you call it? Is it new name? Do you call it new name? Or
It'll
what
just
do you-
be
just
my
your name. Yeah, your
Yeah.
name.
Yeah,
Right. Remove the dead name.
yeah. I have things to say about that later on if we have time, but not now.
For sure.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
I would
whatever you
really-
want. Honestly, whatever you want. It's easy for us to make changes like that.
Perfect. Okay, thanks. All right, sorry, Lance. Grieve away.
No, well, again, why are you apologizing?
Because I know your grievance is about constantly being interrupted.
No, well, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
What's let me see here.
He forgot his grievance. See what she
No,
did?
I
Jen?
know exactly what my grievance is because I was extremely annoyed, but yeah, no, it's fine. Trying to think.
I think I remember the start of it was.
Oh, I was talking
I
about
don't
my
remember
fish
the
tank.
start of it.
I lost.
Oh, that's right. The
The
aquarium.
fish
thing.
tank. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, I just is anybody else showing up? I mean, I'm
Give
trying
me your
to think.
grievance.
Is it a good enough grievance? You're just waiting for more
Apparently
people?
not. It's a
No,
fair
I
grievance.
it's one of these things where I don't like having anybody like speak down to me in some way. I mean, not that I think I'm like smarter than they are or anything like that. I get really annoyed by people that so in my aquarium, I got a big aquarium. I had a fish kill thing where you just, if you're in the aquarium, like you will come home and like a bunch of your fish are dead. And usually it's
yeah.
one of those things where you just,
Something
you know,
got into the water.
well, and that's what everybody always says. Oh, something got in the water, and it's never that. I mean, it's unless somebody's over there like pouring Coca-Cola in there or something like that. I mean, it's never something like that. It's usually a water parameter thing, or it's I mean, it's all over the place. But 9 times out of 10, it's a water parameter thing. And I've been like, you know, my water parameters have been kind of skewed a little bit, but nothing really bad. I mean, like, it was one of those things where and if it's something, so and it had to be something really weird, because like only I have these, well, I had these fish that are called earth eaters that basically chew the sand and like look for food. And they're all big fish. They're like, you know, the largest one was about, you know, 7-8 inches long, and but they were but like they were all dead. I came home and one of them was still alive, but you know, he was barely alive. And so I quick, you know, did a water change, you know, which is like the first thing you should do. But like all the other fish in the tank, completely fine. So, I mean, my gut is that actually what happened is that occasionally with a sandy substrate, you can have a buildup of gases that happen underneath the sand. And then what will happen sometimes is those will get dislodged. And normally those things trickle out slowly. But like if you get a big giant burst of them, it can kill the fish. But the weird thing is that it was only about half of the fish, you know, like all of my other like firemouth cichlids are fine, my angelfish are fine, my pleco is fine, you know, so it's just one of those things. Anyway, so there's one fish store in town that isn't like a Petco or a PetSmart or something like that, like a locally owned fish store. And it used to be owned by this old couple that were super cool and super nice, and they were like kind of throwbacks as far as like how things are. And now it's this younger couple that runs it. So when I had a bunch of baby fish, I went to them and I said, hey, I don't want to kill these things. I can't have these in my tank anymore. Will you take these off my hands? And they were like, yeah, sure, no problem, we'll take them. And so, but like, since they were so tiny and quick, I couldn't catch them. And they were like, oh, well, we'll give you this, you know, these we got a ton of these big nets here. You can just take one of these big nets and you can collect the fish. Well, I had this fish kill thing happen. So I was just like, well, okay, I'm not going to bring them fish if they're going to be sick or something, because I'm not going to have them have that dealing with. So I brought a sample of my water, even though I tested my water and I know what the parameters of my water are, they're fine. And I got there and I walked in, I said, hey, I had this big fish kill thing happen. And then like the lady, she's like this woman, she said to me, hey, you have one of my nets, don't you? I was like, yeah, because I was going to bring you these fish. Yeah, I'm going to need that back. And I was like, cool, I'll bring it to you. Yeah, it's like a $30 net, which is bullshit, because I immediately was like, cool, I'll bring it back later today. Half of my fish died. I wanted your like expertise and knowing with this. Now, if I had gone to the old couple, they would have like been, oh, you know, what's going on? How'd this work? How'd that work? They would have been like completely straightforward with me, and they're pretty good. And like but like she was just like, yeah, she was just annoying. And I said, I'm sorry, I have your net. You know, I'll bring it back, I promise. And I'll bring it back later today. Well, you better. And I was like, cool. I already said I'd bring it back. You know, it's like, she's like, well, you gonna bring fish? Well, no, because I just said I got all these things die. So thing is that I brought the net back. First thing, the $30 net. I went online, they were like $6. I was like, fine, if you're an idiot and you bought it for $30, then you're an idiot. You know, then you bought it, but I bought the exact same thing for $6 on Amazon. I had it in 2 days. Then I it's one of those things where I got there and then I was like, she tested the water. She's like, wow, your nitrates are crazy. It's surprising any of your fish are alive. And I was just like, okay. I was like, I've had this tank set up for several years. The nitrates have always been super high. They've lived in that water for years. It did not affect them. And it's like, well, it probably made them weak. And I was like, no, it didn't. It's like, well, it's probably what killed them. I was like, all of them all at once in the exact same day. Like they all checked it off. Like today's the day.
It is the day.
Yeah. It's like you are the most unhelpful person ever. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home and Google it. I'll bring you back your net. And I brought back the net later that day and I gave it to her. And she was just like, oh, by the way, I'm sorry about your fish. And I was like, I'm not worried about it. It's just like, but I was just like, I come to you because, and the other thing is too, is like I remember like talking to like the old couple and I was like, yeah, my nitrates are really high. And basically, if you don't understand fish tanks, the ammonia that comes from your fish gets turned into nitrite, which gets turned into nitrate. Ammonia is really toxic to fish. Nitrates are really toxic to fish, but nitrate is toxic, but not nearly as toxic as anything else. It's like, and I remember talking to the guy, he's like, if it's nitrate, don't worry about it. I mean, he said, just do your water changes, stay on top of it. Don't chase the parameters. You'll just drive yourself crazy. He's like, just keep your ammonia down, keep your nitrate down, and just make sure you do the water changes. And I was like, and she was giving me all these bad advice, just like constant bad advice. And I was just like, wow, you don't know anything what you're talking about and you run this fish store. And I was just, it's one of those things too, where it was like, it's just that net that it's a $30 net. I'm going to need it back. I wanted to just put $30 in the counter and say, here, you can hold on to this when I come back. I'd like my $30 back.
Maybe it was her favorite net, Lance.
You know what? I don't know. But like I said, I went onto the internet and had one in like, I had one delivered in 2 days, for nothing. So.
Oh, whatever.
Maybe she's just sick of dealing with jack wagons like you all day.
Maybe, I don't know. And it's just
so
like,
much drama in a fish store.
she was annoying. She was extremely annoying. And I was really annoyed, by her existence. And but oh well. And I lost a bunch of fish, and my dog was sick a couple of days ago, but she's on the mend. That was weird too. It was like I came down, I got up in the morning and the whole like downstairs smelled like crap. And I was like, and I have a dog and she's 6 years old and she never has an accident. I mean, she's had one accident in her entire life when she was a puppy. And after the first time where she had an accident and we brought her outside, she learned. Never had one before. And she was dealing with incontinence. And it was, now I'm not trying to be disgusting. I'm not going to go into it. But basically I had to clean a rug. It was tough. And I was really worried about her because she was not herself. She had weak legs, and then it was just like, so I was calling around different vets to see if like they can get me in, and they were like, well, it's like you can call for urgent care tomorrow and things like that. And I was just like, okay.
Urgent care tomorrow.
Yeah, urgent care tomorrow, right? I called up the very first vet we ever had, and they were like, well, we only have one veterinarian that works part-time and we're booked out for like the next 3 weeks. So I was just like, yeah, I don't know how you're in business. Oh, we mostly just fill prescriptions and sell dog food. That's all we do. We don't really work as a vet anymore. I was like, all right, well, fair enough. But I asked my wife, I was like, do you think we can give a dog a Tums? And she Googled it, and as long as it didn't have xylitol, it's like, yeah, it'll just for her weight, give her 1 Tums. And so I got some wet dog food and crushed up a Tums and put it in the wet dog food and just gave her a little bit of food with water, and she ate it. And it was weird, and it was like, just like a human. About an hour later, her tummy wasn't upset anymore, and she was still, she still wasn't she wasn't. Now she's fine. She's exactly like she normally is. But she was like, after about an hour and a half, she was getting up, walking around. She didn't have the squirts anymore. So
must she get into something in the trash or something?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe just had a little tummy bug. Like sometimes, like when you when you eat bad Chinese takeout too late at night, next morning is a race to the bathroom. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I had an issue with my dog similar to that, but it turns out that he had both a UTI and Cushing's disease. And so now we've got that under control. He dropped from 135 pounds to 98 pounds. And we're trying to put weight back on him now, but I just switched him to one of the those raw meat diets, raw meat and cooked veggies.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, he's eating again now, which is nice. So, but then again, he's old for a newfie. So
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
nothing that stinks more when your dog just isn't themselves. It's just
Yeah, I
one of those
know,
things
right?
where it's like, you know, it's just like,
a dog brings you the greatest joy and the greatest sorrow.
no,
Well,
the
Scott-
one I heard was dogs give you thousands of great days and one of the absolute fucking worst.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, there you go. What are you guys laughing about?
I
I love when I'm telling my
Scott.
stories and I can see Scott chatting with people and think he's so like
I'm not
like
chatting.
Lance is talking, chat away with the people in the audience.
No, I mean, I did one
Lance is
sentence.
talking. I've
I
got
mean,
10 minutes
it's a
to do
long,
this.
it's a lot of waiting time. I have to like,
Is he
myself
done
entertained.
talking? Is he done talking yet? I muted him a while ago. I don't know.
it's not true.
All right.
I have a grievance.
What's your
Go
grievance,
for
I
it.
got the bill for that intercepted container that we had to relabel.
What happened? What was that?
So we ship in product from, Hong Kong,
Right.
via China, or China via Hong Kong, I can't remember. And we got the instead of doing like the small pallet or the one pallet, onesie twosie pallets, which is crazy expensive, we're like, oh, we'll save money by putting in a container
Mhm.
because more stuff in one container and they'll floor stack it, right? They can go floor to ceiling.
Right.
Well, we got intercepted by customs and we needed our labels were incorrect. They were not properly labeled with the country of origin. Now the boxes are labeled country of origin. That doesn't matter because I guess if you sell it online, you still have to have that label of like what country it was made in. I don't know. There's
You mean
questionable things
are you
about
talking
the
on the cartons or on the box?
on the actual label of the package. There needs to be a made in China label sticker.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. We'd never been, I mean, we've been making stuff for like, I think, how long have I been making stuff? Maybe like 10 years now?
Yeah.
Never once stopped, pulled over, inspected. I mean, we've been inspected, but never once flagged. Now we've been flagged twice.
Wow.
First time was a pallet we imported from Japan. That's all been sitting. We've disputed that it was the safety testing was not done on that because it was like it was for ages 8 and up. I'm like, don't put ages 8 and up on these things. No kids are playing these games. Anyway, so fast forward to our pallet for all the bits we make, or not a pallet, a container, and they got flagged by customs. So it got set aside. We had to get it all labeled or send it back, which is like, no,
Yeah.
that would suck. And we're like, okay, well, we'll get it all labeled. Okay. Well, they send you the price sheets, but of course, that's just the price sheets. You don't know how much real actual like.
Right.
How long is it going to take to relabel 40,000 items?
Wow.
Well, I found out
How long, Scott?
quite expensive. Quite expensive. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think that number, I guess they had faith that we would pay it because they did the work. But we got the stuff shipped to us like first. We got it sitting in our, it was shipped in almost immediately. In fact, it sort of showed up right before BGCon and we had to unload it.
Yeah, I remember.
And they only give you 2 hours of unloading time for free. So we had to hustle. Anyway,
So Scott, who was it? Customs here or
US Customs.
okay? So
Yeah.
they hit. So how
Yeah.
did they relabel? They did it or
No, we had to hire a company to
go
first of all,
in?
it had to get shipped to them, stored in their facility. By the way, they weren't ready to do it because they had backup. They had 3 people ahead of us. So it sits in storage for days. So we have a daily
You have to pay for storage,
have to
right?
pay for storage,
Right.
like a storage fee. I mean, it was, I don't want to say the number, but it was stupid big. Like, I feel like any other company might have like, it would have just crushed them. Luckily we had that money to pay. And we didn't have to sell the stuff to pay the bill, right?
Right.
But I'm telling you, it was like pretty darn close to the actual value of all the stuff.
Wow,
40,000 items.
that's a lot.
Crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So anyway,
I
That's my-
declare this grievance
Now-
valid.
it's a great lesson to learn.
I don't
mean,
understand
I
how this
just-
falls
when
on you
we've-
though. I mean,
When we had a container stopped that was going to the EU, like a couple years ago or whatever, and it was just like, oh, why was it oh, random, oh, and it was just like, okay, and how long is this going to take? And they're like, we don't know. And then they basically they opened up the thing, they unpacked everything, went through the entire process, looked through everything. It was just, it's like whatever, 1,000 board games or whatever.
Yep.
And then after they were done, they sent us a bill for their time of having to look through everything.
this is like the mafia.
Everything was in order. Everything was in complete order. They were just like, oh yeah,
Normally it's no big-
that'll be
yeah, I-
$2,000.
This was our second container we shipped. Like we did one last year too.
Yeah.
And no problems. Came right through.
But
This time, not so much.
I don't
Anyway,
understand.
so the Japanese stuff, we disputed the seizing, and because it didn't have the proper safety tests up to date. And I'm like, did it rot on the shelf? Like, did it I don't know. It's very tough to figure that out without knowing it. I mean, like, who do you go to learn about this stuff?
An importer.
There's
I
no
guess,
rules out there that tell you. I mean, I'm suspect they probably are somewhere, but
Yeah.
how do you find this stuff?
Those are the kind of people who are these weird edge consultants that you think I would never need to. hire.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And we were like, well, do we need to get it tested again? We have the paperwork from the testing. From when it was
So
first manufactured. It was
this
just
the
1 year old.
Was this the
like-
test? Was this the testing that the EU requires?
This is America. This is in US.
Oh, this is because you had it for younger kids.
We imported a pallet from Japan with all these like kids games.
But
No
what was
kids
it?
play these games.
Yeah, so that's why I do 14 and up. 14 and
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Like they were trying
Yeah.
to sell it to a different audience. I mean, they are kids games.
They are, but-
BGG is not selling to kids. We sell to adults.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, now maybe they play those games with their kids. I don't know.
Right.
But I suspect
well-
it's mostly adults. It was all the stuff from Itten.
Quiet.
ITTE.
Shush.
Oh, Scott, Jenna
Anyway.
asked me a question about the geek bits. Why don't you deal with Carcassonne? And that is that a copyright thing?
Which geek bit? Like for what? Like the tiles or?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like when she was saying all the meeples and all that. I'm like, well, they
Oh, we
come
sell
with the
meeples.
game for Carcassonne in particular, or just
So,
oh,
well,
okay.
we sell meeples, but I mean, you could use them for Carcassonne.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
wanted to do these really cool like little mini meeples that are made with like they're basically plastic, but they're super clear.
Acrylic, okay.
Acrylic, yeah, acrylic.
Yeah, that's what I have for the I have the 10th anniversary of that, the one that came in a box that was shaped like a meeple. They're all acrylic, the little meeples in them. That's what we were talking about.
Oh, no.
She was looking at the big box. The new big box, because I said all of our stuff's the old artwork, and then if you want to continue with this Carcassonne, we'll have to switch over. Yeah.
Well, we gonna do this initials or what?
Yeah, I guess Matthew ain't
Matt coming?
I don't know.
He might pop on.
You never
It's
know.
11 here.
It's been a while since Jen has played, so
I'm gonna have to take off soon. I've got work tomorrow morning, guys.
well, who doesn't?
Oh, here we go with this shit.
All right, I will happily lose. Go ahead.
BM. Bowel movement.
BM.
Bowel movement.
Bowel movement. That's like, how was your BM? That was the hospital question.
Yeah, no.
BM.
Oh, I did I did hear a dark joke I'll share with you guys.
Go for it.
Oh, Matt's coming.
Hang on.
Okay,
I got
Matt's coming. Matt's coming. Matt's coming.
All right, I'm gonna
Take your
read.
time, Jenna.
Someone sent it to me. Hang on a second. I want to make sure I get it right. Okay. It says, a man took a young boy and led him into the woods. As it got darker and they got farther into the woods, the boy said, "I'm scared." The man said, "How do you think I feel? I have to get out of here alone."
That is dark.
That is
A little
Um,
bit, a little bit.
The one I always heard was the guy calls 911. He says, 911, what's your emergency? I'm out hunting with my buddy. I think he had a heart attack. And then he's like, well, it's like, I don't think he's breathing. And I think he's dead. And then the 911 guy says, are you sure he's dead? 1 second. And here's a gunshot. Yup.
No, he's dead.
Dark humor, or I apologize. I might have even told you this one before, but when the guy calls home, talks to his wife, hey, it's like the housekeeper answers, and it's like, oh, hey, let me talk to my wife, and she said, well, she can't come to the phone, and he's like, well, why can't she come to the phone? And then there's this weird pause, and she's like, she's like, I can't keep lying to you anymore. Every time you go to work, her lover comes over and they spend the day together all day long. And he's just like, and then he's just furious. And then he goes, he's like, it's like, I don't pay you well enough. He's like, I'll pay you $25,000 right now if you go and get my handgun and kill them both. And so then he waits, in a few moments, he hears a few gunshots. And she's like, what should I do with the bodies? Just throw them in the pool. She's like, you don't have a pool. He says, is this 555-438?
Oh my God. I love these kinds of jokes.
Just horrible. Bowel movement is the for Matthew.
Saw that.
All right, here we go. Connected to the hooligans.
Well, excuse me. Oh, never mind.
Okay. Remember, you ring in with Jen. I will not accept James or Jim. Got his nickname from a wrestling legend. Former Elvis impersonator. Has been a part of multiple Super Bowls. His real name is Peter Hernandez. Final clue. Was lead vocals on 2014's Uptown Funk.
Matt,
Go.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno
Mars.
Mars is correct.
Way to go, Matt. I knew Bruno Mars and I choked.
There
I
you
wanna-
go.
Well,
I
I
didn't
guess,
know it until the very last
I
thing.
don't have.
right. That's what did it for me. Uptown Funk.
If I had said Hernandez, if I'd rolled the R, would that have helped?
It's one of Giselle's go-to karaoke songs, so that's why I know.
All right, here we go. Was discussed
Another
and
one?
heard.
Still
Was-
BM.
Yeah, still BM. It's
Yeah, the
all
whole
BM.
thing is BM.
BM.
Was discussed and heard in 2007's I Am Legend. Originally known as Nesta. Once survived an assassination attempt. Connected to Three Little Birds.
Barry.
Barry.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
Don't worry. Bad a thing.
Now I really want to say Bruno Marley.
Sorry, my mom texted me. I'm responding to her text.
Oh, tell her.
No.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Connected to an iconic comic strip character. Former lounge singer.
Jenna,
Go.
Barry Manilow.
Good guess,
Good
though.
guess, yeah.
But wrong.
But right.
Was a champion bowler. Once sang Bare Necessities.
Oh, I know who this is. Fuck.
Was nominated for an Academy Award for a 2003 performance. Was Dr. Peter Venkman in
Aldi.
1980.
Bill Murray.
Bill
Murray, yeah.
Bill fucking
Murray.
Murray.
Bill fucking Murray.
Bill Murray is correct.
I like mine better.
He,
too.
Because my answer came.
It made sense.
Came without taking.
What was the lounge singer?
Oh,
On Saturday Night Live, he
Right,
played-
yeah.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Don't let it end.
and it didn't.
No. Well, no. The best thing about Star Wars is they only made 3 movies.
That's
Here we
right.
go.
and only one of them was any good.
Oh no. It is weird. I was thinking about this the other day because like we were talking about, and I'm not gonna say anything, no spoilers about Ted Lasso at all. I'm not gonna say anything.
Love Ted Lasso.
I'm not gonna say anything spoilers. But I find it is really interesting when you deal with threes. Like Star Wars is weird because Star Wars, the first one, I mean that's an A, right? And then Empire is A plus, and Return is like a B plus. It's weird, but like it seems like to me like the second one is usually the weak point. Like take Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, A. Temple of Doom, B.
C.
Nah, I mean B.
C.
Yeah, he got to admire Kate Capshaw, sleeping her way into the movie.
C.
But and then you come roaring back with The Last Crusade and you get an A plus movie.
That's a B.
Really?
He chose poorly.
I don't see your
When
logic
does the new
here.
movie come out?
Soon.
Like next
I,
week?
Yeah.
so I really have to say I agree that Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one, was the best movie of all of them. It was a fantastic movie, but to me, there's nothing as magical as Kate Blanchett's hair in the 4th movie when she was the Russian.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, there's just something about her character that just made that movie shine.
I think that was probably the only thing good about the movie.
I think you're right. You're 100%
I
right.
remember.
But it was
Not
so
great.
What, you
good.
like the
I
refrigerator?
remember when we left the movie theater. My buddy Brad said, "How did he get the alien skull out of there if you needed it to get in?" I was like, God, I remember I left. I was like, it was okay. And then he said that, and I was like, this movie sucks.
I have high hopes for the new one.
I do not.
Go out with the bang. Done with this
Yeah.
franchise.
It did 20 years
Um,
ago, 30 years ago.
You know, I didn't watch that for the longest time because I had no idea that it was actually going to be an adventure movie. I thought it was a documentary about Noah's Ark. I seriously did. I was, and I
Free
am
internet.
so stupid.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
went with blonde.
I enjoy Connery in that third movie. He's
Yeah, I always enjoy
yeah.
Connery.
It was a good movie.
I love Sean Connery's good in anything he does.
including an interview where he says sometimes woman needs a good slap.
Particularly like strawberries.
Here we go.
I didn't think that movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones was very good.
Oh yeah,
Like where they were like thieves.
yeah. What was the name of that one?
What
I
was the
just
name of
I
that
just
movie?
rewatched Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I just had it on for background noise. And man, there's all kinds of little things in there that are just hilarious. Like the whole thing when they're in the boat and when he's checking out where he got punched and stuff like that. And she takes the mirror and hits him. It shows the outside of the steamer, and you just hear the scream, and all she says, "Did you say something?" It's just like,
So Lance, when you're done with initials,
yeah.
remind me, I want to say something about scary TV shows. Okay.
Done.
go.
But I want to say, next time you guys watch Last Crusade, the Donovan, the evil guy that sends him on the thing, he plays General Veers in Empire Strikes Back. He's the AT-AT general, and he's in there, and he's like, "Tell the Emperor I'll have the shield down immediately," which, whatever. So same actor. So, but however, the very first scene where you see him when when Indy's at his house and he's coming to visit him and he's having a dinner party, when he opens up the doors, there's music playing in the background, and if you listen very carefully to music, it is the Imperial March played in a major tune. It's like dun 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 dun. It's they put that in there just as a nod to the fact that he
The
was
Imperial Waltz.
goddamn dog.
Goddamn dog. Where's that goddamn
Now the cat's
soul
over.
lady?
S'mores, get away from there.
What were the
Please.
initials again?
Bowel movement.
Movements.
All right, here we go. Number one, debuted in Pennsylvania.
Narrows it down.
Yeah.
Previously called the Aristocrat. Has been seen inside cardboard and styrofoam. Went nationwide in 1968. Is the nickname of a controversial baseball player. Final clue. 2 all beef patties,
Barry.
special sauce. Barry, go ahead.
Big Mac.
Big Mac it is.
That
2-1.
styrofoam cardboard clue was pretty good. I gotta say.
Yeah.
I thought I had it with the baseball.
He's on a
thing, but
sesame seed
just want to
bun.
wait.
I've never liked the Big Mac. I don't know.
I'm a fish sandwich girl
Mm.
with extra tartar sauce.
Tartar. Yeah, just give me
They don't make the
the
sandwich
quarter
out
pounder
of
with cheese.
Anymore.
I tried the
They don't?
Impossible Burger, the
cheddar
Impossible
melt.
Whopper the other day, and it was really, really good.
No
What-
way.
what-
Absolutely delicious.
Don't
what
believe
did you try?
The impossible
Possible Whopper.
Whopper.
Dead cow or nothing.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
I think
It
I tried
was
it.
a bunch
I
of
tried
oil.
it. It's okay.
All right, here we go. Once appeared on a hit list. Known for hallucinations. Was the heir to a hotel chain. Once participated in a spelling bee. Once proclaimed Donkey Kong as the best game ever. This eponymous 1995 film character was played by Adam Sandler.
Matt.
Billy
Madison.
Madison.
You know what the funny
Oh
thing
my-
is? So the all-time contentious record holder for Donkey Kong, you know what his name is?
Yeah, I know it.
Billy
I can't-
Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell, yeah.
That's why I'm like,
almost-
I almost
he's
went
almost
Matt
Billy
Billy
Mitchell.
Mitchell, but
And it's been proven that he cheated to get his
know.
record too. All of his
He used,
records
he
were
used,
wiped. All of his records were
emulator.
wiped clean. Yeah.
Can I just say I hate you, or is that just implied?
Nah.
It's implied.
Implied.
Who, me?
No, Billy Madison, what a great scene though, when he calls up the guy and says, I just want to say, I know we made fun of you and I really feel bad about it. And, I just want to apologize.
Never saw it.
Oh, you never saw it, really? So yeah, he gets picked on for the first time ever. He gets picked on in school and he gets bullied. And so then he calls up and then, why can't I think of the actor's name right now?
And he crosses him off the list, like the hit list.
Yeah, so he
That's
calls
the
him.
hit
I
list.
forget what the actor's name, but he calls him up and he's like, "Hey, is this Joe Stevenson or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, hey, this is Billy Madison. I know back in high school I really picked on you all the time, and I never really realized how mean that was. And I just wanted to say I really feel bad about it." And he's like, "Oh, well, don't worry about it. No, I want to apologize." He's like, "No, I really appreciate you calling." He's like, "Maybe we can go get a coffee sometime." He's like, "Yeah, sure." And then he hangs up the phone, and the guy stands up, and he's got this giant tag board of people to kill, and he walks off.
Crosses him off the list.
Marks off Billy Madison.
Meanwhile,
The guy
back
from
on Earth.
Office Space.
What?
It wasn't the guy from Office Space, was it?
No, I can't think of his
Who was
name. He's in Big Lebowski. He's the guy who has a
Yeah,
heart attack and dies.
Belushi, not Belushi.
Buscemi.
Buscemi, yeah.
Steve Buscemi, yeah,
Steve
Steve Buscemi
Buscemi.
plays it. And he
Lance
shows up
is
at
like
the end.
He shows at the end and he like
tonight.
shoots somebody and
Yeah, he shoots somebody,
It gives him a
because
little-
that's the thing. He marks the name off with lipstick, and then he takes lipstick and just starts smearing it all over his face because he's insane. All right, here we go. Has been connected to cheating. Was first connected to women in the 1960s.
Connected by what?
Features bibs.
What'd you say?
Features bibs. B-I-B-S. Known for Scream Tunnel and Heartbreak Hill. There is no age limit. This debuted in 1897 and featured an act of terrorism in 2013. 5, 4,
Oh, that's it?
3,
that's the gimme.
2, 1.
Aldi.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And
Anybody else
Bowel
call in?
movement.
yeah, it's a race.
Boston Marathon.
Boston Marathon. There you go.
Oh,
on.
man.
I don't think that's a gimme.
Thou dost suck it.
You can't remember. You don't remember the Boston Marathon bombing? My wife and I were eating dinner
Yes,
at
I
a
do,
eating
but
dinner at a
it's
Village
not what I
Inn
would-
when and then they came across on they had the TVs, and they came across breaking news. Crazy.
I was
We
at
were
the
there with our
Academy.
daughter. Eating a lunch. Here we go. Invented in the 1920s or 1930s.
Which one is
They don't know.
it? 20 or 30?
Appeared on Lady Gaga's Born This Way. Connected to the Queen of England. Often connected to chanting. Connected to mirrors.
Jenna.
Jed.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Nice.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
Well done.
What
Don't
was the
say it
last
3
one?
times in front of the mirror.
What was the last one?
Last one was a vodka drink made with tomato juice.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah,
Now
Yeah.
that's a gimme. That's a gimme.
Yeah.
That's a gimme clue. Yeah, that's a gimme.
that was a game. All right, here we go. This term is hundreds of years old. Commonly connected to parties. Is sometimes considered a witness. Often seen standing. Known for giving speeches. Final clue.
Barry.
Barry.
Best man.
Best man is correct. Very well done.
John Barry.
The gimme was Lance Meister. No, the gimme is commonly responsible for the rings at a wedding. All right, here we go. Clue number one is a former Olympian.
I'm out.
Appeared in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill.
I feel like we've had
Found.
that clue before.
Yeah.
Found in Africa.
Jen.
Go ahead.
Black Mamba.
Black Mamba is correct. Yes. So Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, his nickname was Black Mamba. That's why he played basketball in the Olympics. So there you go. That's why that was. Yeah, lays eggs was the next clue. Former Olympian lays eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Let me see. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 5 left. It is anybody's game. Anybody's game.
Anybody.
Wait a minute. Kabuki. Jenna got that one. She went from 1 to 1.
Uh-oh.
Our official scorekeeper and adjudicator of reality is not towing the line very well here.
Somebody's drinking.
Yeah, somebody's sipping an old grandpa's cough medicine this evening.
Actually, it's perfect. It's perfectly correct because now that I'm a woman, I only make 70 cents on a dollar. So I only score partial points.
Partial
Yeah.
credit.
That's fair.
You ever see that? I can't remember what skit show it was on, but there was some fake game show that was called Race to a Million. And people would, like, contestants would ring in for an answer. They'd say the answer, they're like, correct. 1 point for you. And every question was 1 point, and the first person had to get to a million. They're like, oh, bonus round. Oh, is this worth like more? Nope, just 1 point.
You know, I wish I could find the clip, but it's an SNL, it's an older SNL episode, and Norm Macdonald plays the host of this game show, and he actually wrote it. And if you can actually, and when you go, you can actually tell he did all the writing for it. It was How Grizzled Are You? And I forget, there were 3 contestants, and I forget, I think Daryl Hammond played one, and then they had and then the host of the show was Garth Brooks, and he played another one, and they got Robert Duvall to come on and play, and they just played these old cantankerous men. I mean, it was just like in these questions where, I mean, I forget what the questions were, but they were all these long drawn out monologues. And I just remember the one where Robert Duvall was like, you know, it was something like I forget what it was. It was something like, it's like, you know, when I was waiting my turn for our landing craft to hit the beach in Omaha on June 6th, never in my life had I prayed that there was actually a God, and never again would I realize there was no such thing. Just like, oh my gosh, you are grizzled. And then it got to like Garth Brooks, and Garth Brooks was like, he said this thing where he's like, you know, I buried my parents, and I buried 2 wives. I buried brothers and sisters. When I had to bury my firstborn, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And it paused, and Robert Duvall looked over at Garth Brooks. My God, you are grizzled. I wish, but nobody. It's like, you know, who is more grizzled? You can't find it, and all the
It's not
YouTube clips in the world, you just
I bet
can't
you
find
can
it
find
anywhere. Oh, I've been digging, man. I wanted to watch that again. I remember just laughing my butt off when it's on it. But if you've seen it, it's great. All right, here we go. Debuted in 1986. Connected to principles. Known for leaving no trace. Connected to Black Rock City. Occurs annually.
Jenna,
Go.
Blue Moon.
Just guess though.
Final clue.
Of course, I'm just guessing.
Features the igniting of a large wooden effigy.
Jenna,
Oh, Barry.
Barry.
Burning
I know this
Man.
fuck you, fucking Burning Man.
Unfortunately, you rang in with the wrong answer. All right, here we go. 4 left.
I'll suck.
Barry's pulling it away.
Yeah.
Here we go. Often connected to drugs. Barry.
I smoke weed. How am I connected? I did some opioids. Yeah.
Often connected to prostitution. Matt.
What was the first clue? Sorry.
Drugs.
Often connected to drugs. And I said Barry. And then I said often connected to prostitution. Matt.
Barry.
Barry.
Black market.
Black market is correct. Well done. Holy
I think
cow, he's like
we got all the
raining
answers.
tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I am fucking phoning it in these last few times. I swear to God.
You know, often
Wapner.
connected to
My brain's
organized
not working.
crime, often connected to weapons, often connected to human organs. Or
You know
is it
what? I think
Jenna?
it's ever since I started DMing. I'm taxed after my D&D
brain
session on
is-
Wednesday.
That could be.
Overworked.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Wapner,
Yeah,
3
I don't like
black.
that.
All right, here we go. 3 left.
Here we go.
Let's see. Only Matt and Jenna can tie Barry if Aldi gets it or Barry gets it, he's the winner. Here we go.
Here we go.
Connected to 2017's The Shape of Water.
What did you say? I didn't hear that.
What is? Oh, that fish fucker movie. Okay.
Connected to 2017's The Shape of Water. Connected to Under Armour. Connected to HBO's The Wire.
Matt.
Matt.
Baltimore, Maryland?
Baltimore, Maryland is correct,
There you
Matthew.
go.
Well done.
I literally just watched like the first 15 minutes of the first episode of The Wire the other day again.
Did you?
It's like everybody said
Good
to me,
show.
yeah, you
It
gotta
is.
watch The Wire. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And
Was,
it's just, I
Was
haven't
Ace
watched
of
it.
Cakes one of those clues, by the way?
Which
Can
let's
I-
see here.
Oh, the
Can I-
cake guy. Yeah.
It said professional athletic connections to birds, connected to Olympian Michael Phelps, and the city's primary newspaper is The Sun and is the location of Edgar Allan Poe's burial.
I'm surprised they didn't say Charm City or anything like that.
Sorry, why don't you write it?
Can I tell you a story about The Shape of Water real quick?
Go for it.
So when I first got on Twitter, like, I don't know, 2016, 2017 or something. Maybe it was later than that. Anyway, it was later than that. And I wrote, I still think about The Shape of Water. When did that come out? Shape of Water came out when? You had it?
2017.
All right, so this is probably 2018. And I wrote, I still think of The Shape of Water. And Daniel Krauss, the guy who wrote it with, I forget who he wrote it with, Del Toro maybe, he commented on that post and said, and I still think about Shadows of Malice.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
couldn't fucking believe it.
Uh,
That's my one claim
Ah.
to fame. I'm a happy girl.
Yeah, my only true claim to fame was when my son and I were sitting down to watch Star Wars for the first time, and I just tweeted it out. Didn't even do hashtag Star Wars or anything like that. Just said my son and I are going to watch Star Wars for the very first time, or something along those lines. And like 2 minutes later, David Prowse replied to my tweet.
How do you
Enjoy.
think that happened?
Woo! Good job.
I have no
I mean,
idea.
how would that even show up on his feed?
He maybe
Or he was
just
just
searched
searching
Star Wars,
and you were
searching
the
Star
most
Wars, and he
recent.
just saw it, and
He
then
was
it
he was just live scrolling Star Wars and
It's
just
yeah,
his
but I
staff
have the
that-
screenshot that just says
Oh.
David Prowse, enjoy. That's all it is.
You
The
would
real,
enjoy it.
and it's like he's
I wonder if
rest in
he
peace.
yeah, I'm very curious about that one.
It's just, and it's like the
you
real Darth
saying
Vader.
you're
It
calling
was
BS,
his-
Scott?
was his,
No,
was
I'm
his-
just wondering how did that happen though?
Yeah.
Like it just
You
seems so
remember,
random.
you remember seeing him in Clockwork Orange?
Yes, he's the guy who carries the wheelchair down.
That's right. Julian. His name is Julian.
Movie.
Yeah, he carries
When
the
they made
wheelchair with the
movies,
guy in
made,
it.
made decent movies.
And he was in a couple other things too, because he was a professional bodybuilder.
Not,
He
not
was.
superhero
And
movies.
he was originally gonna play Chewbacca because but he was allergic to the hairs that they used in the suit. And so then but he wanted to continue to use him because he was just so built and stocky. And so then they gave him the role. And little known fact, David Prowse actually had force powers. Little known fact.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right, two left.
Two left.
Was seen in Ted 2, House of Cards, and The Campaign.
House of Cards.
Known for I'm Swiss, The Decider, and But I'm Not Wrong. Connected to the New York Mets. Wrote and starred in a 2008 documentary, Challenging Religion.
Barry.
Barry.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, Barry is your winner, everyone. The final clue is
Gary. Right on.
fatuous bore was the final clue. Fatuous bore.
That could be anybody.
Oh no, if you say fatuous bore with BM, it's Bill Maher. You know, you just know.
But I thought I didn't think the initials were LM.
oh, zing.
Bow, 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 bow,
is that
bow, bow.
No, one left. One more. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Final one for
Yeah,
funsies.
for
Congratulations,
funsies.
Barry. Good playing. Likely started in 18th century England. Often considered the most popular option of its kind in the United States. Robert De Niro's character in Casino complained about their consistency. Often connected to mornings.
Matt.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is so wrong. Banana milkshake.
That's what I was thinking too, but I don't think that.
As soon as
That's funny.
I said it and I heard mornings.
it's
I'm like,
wrong.
oh, that's-
Yeah.
Yeah. A Seinfeld episode suggested their top is the best part.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Oh, I got it.
Is it banana muffin?
Close.
Final clue. These are baked in pans and often sold with the bottom half surrounded by a paper cup.
Matt.
You already guessed, Matt.
Matt. Jenna.
5,
Oh, you put
Four.
banana in my head.
3.
Barry. Blueberry muffin.
Barry. Blueberry muffin. Yes,
Oh.
blueberry muffin is
Oh,
correct.
see, I was gonna say brand, but that's okay.
Brand.
Yeah. Yeah, blueberry
it could be
muffin.
anything.
I just
Blueberry brand banana muffins.
that scene in Casino is hilarious though, because it's like when he comes to that guy
yeah,
and he's just like yeah, look at these two muffins. I got like 7 blueberries in mine. There's like 50 in these. He's just like, for now on, I want to make sure every single blueberry muffin has the exact same number of blueberries. It's like, do you have any idea how much time it's going to take to make sure? I don't give a fuck how much time it takes.
Oh my god! Speaking of banana, we ordered some groceries to go pick up, and we actually ordered pineapple Oikos yogurt, but they gave us the other yellow one, banana Oikos yogurt. I was burping fucking banana yogurt all day today. It was not
What kind of yogurt?
fake banana flavor all fucking day today. I was not happy.
All right,
What-
so
what-
so. Go ahead, Al.
I
Scary
was just
TV
saying, what,
show.
what
Scary
kind of
TV
yogurt was
show.
it?
Yes, yes. First, before scary TV show, I have to say, I am okay with having groceries delivered, but I trust no one to pick out my produce and my meat.
You know, you're not wrong. So we do the ordering online, and then on the way home from work, I stop and they just load my truck up, and then I come home. But we've been shafted a bunch of times with that. Like, how the hell this meat expired yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff, or today, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And can you not see the 3 rotten tomatoes in the bottom of this?
Right.
yeah.
In horror?
How
And it-
is this fucking?
Family show. Family show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, scary TV shows. So, I started watching From.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched this?
No.
Yeah.
I'm only 2 episodes in, and it scared the fuck out of me. I watched the last episode a week ago Sunday in the afternoon, and Monday. So Monday was Labor Day. So Tuesday was when the garbage came. So Monday night, I'm walking out to take the garbage out, and it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm like, fuck, I thought about that show. I was getting shitless at the bottom of my driveway. And I thought, I'm going to turn around and there's going to be nothing there. And I'm halfway through the turn and I thought, that's exactly what they thought. I've never been so freaked out by a TV show before. Have you guys seen this at all?
Never heard of it.
I thought, have you seen it, Lance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoilers, but I mean, yeah, I don't want to dive too. But yeah, From's good. From is.
I
really
thought it
good.
was really, really creepy and really scary. And I can scare myself well enough that I don't need shows to do it, but I will not watch this show. I was going to watch the other night and say, now it's 5 o'clock. It's too late to watch From. I will only watch it when there's like 4 to 5 solid hours of daylight left. It's horrible. I
Must be
feel
really scary.
so weak and silly for it, but it's really a good show and it's so scary.
I really like the lead actor in it. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. I really like
The Black Sheriff. Yeah. He was in Lost, I think, and he was in Constantine, I think.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of
Okay,
stuff. He's
okay.
really good. He was in Castle for a while too.
Yeah.
Not Castle, the rookie.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He's very good. I like him a lot. He's very good.
He was in
And I
Oz
see
as
a lot
well.
of potential.
Yeah,
in
he
the-
was in Oz.
I see a lot of potential in the adult characters who were in the RV that came in. But
I haven't seen it yet.
it's just
How many
freaking
seasons of it?
creepy.
It's just started.
Oh, it just started.
Oh no, it's
No, no, it's
Second season.
season 2 just started.
Yeah, season
Is
2
it
just started.
on any? Is it on Netflix or something, or is it?
It's on
It was
Prime.
on MGM Plus.
I think it's on Prime also, right? The first season
On
is on
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah, first season's on Prime.
I just started watching For Life,
Oh no,
based on a true story about a lifer in prison who gets his law license and exonerates himself.
Oh, I heard about this. How is it, man? I
It's
haven't
quite
seen.
good. It's good. I turn shows off as soon as they start to get soapy. So
Yeah.
if it starts to like draw things out too much, I'm like, yeah, done. Thanks. See you later.
Yeah.
But
so I'm a huge fan of Ted Lasso. I'm a huge fan of Mrs. Maisel. And
yeah,
I'm
did you watch
really
the final
looking-
season?
What?
Did you watch the final season?
I loved it.
Yeah, my wife watches it. She liked it a lot.
Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, I
did.
watched it.
They did a lot of time jumping in it, which,
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
which bothered me until the very end when I was just like, I get it now.
Yeah, that's exactly what Giselle said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I'm really looking forward to season 2 of Severance.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I had just gotten out of the hospital when it came out, and I'm like, I
When
turned it
Severance
on.
came out,
Yeah, and I turned it on, and I'm like, I'm not sure I want to watch this show right now
It's
because it has
fun.
that dark,
It's so
kind of
quirky.
sad, dark start on that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
I was just like, it's not for me right now. Not now. I'll watch it.
it was amazing to me how much depth they found in just the main conceit of the show, which
Yeah.
seems really simple. But then like when you listen to the TVs going in the background and the people arguing about stuff, it's like there's a lot of real depth here about
Yeah, it's pretty
human
gritty.
elements.
I'm interested to
It's
see it for
amazing.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm on the final 2 episodes of Succession.
Oh yeah,
Almost
I only
done.
watched like 3 episodes of that show.
I
It's
don't want
great.
to watch that.
It's pretty great.
mean.
And it's
They're all
done,
evil.
right? I'm excited for it to be done, and I feel it's been solid all the way through. Pretty intriguing too. I mean, the characters are terrible. I mean, terrible
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they're
It's
all
their-
terrible.
They're all
That's-
terrible.
Yeah.
But like, I guess you just kind of want to watch it.
I have
Something
a
about it.
grievance.
What is that, Matthew?
So
Oh, are you sure somebody doesn't want to tell some story about their giant life change and interrupt his grievance before he gets to do his?
Can
Okay.
you read between the lines, my friend? Read between the lines.
No, go ahead, Matthew. Apparently, if this is your show, you don't get.
I
you don't
used
get
to have
interrupted.
I used to have a friend just like Lance.
Yeah, I used to have a friend that looks just like you.
never mind.
No, what's your grievance?
Oh no, it's fine.
So
Oh no, it's fine.
playing our game tonight, one of the characters. So one guy couldn't make it, so we had it. We played it at my office.
I'm sorry, what game?
D&D.
Okay.
So we're doing the Dragonlance
Nerd.
campaign that came out a while ago, and this one friend of mine is playing a Kender druid, and he's always been very quirky with the character, which is fine, but tonight he took a turn with it and was like actively causing the storyline to be halted and things. And it was
Are
really, it
you
was
running it?
disruptive because everybody was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And he was being combative
Yeah,
with the NPCs, but you know, that's fine. And I kept kind of pivot to figure out how to deal with this and move it forward and stuff. But at the end of it, like we got through it, but it was just like a whole 45 minutes of what the fuck was that? And he's a druid and he's neutral good. And I know that alignment and neutrality with druids in 5e doesn't really mean anything, but I feel like I want to like say, okay, based on your actions, you change from neutral good to chaotic good, and you no longer have access to your druidic powers.
Do it.
Well, here's what I would do. It's always better to.
Now, this
take the
might be an isolated incident too. I don't know.
No, it can be, but just to make sure it doesn't happen again. I mean, I'm assuming you're friends with this person.
Oh yeah, very good. Very good
Okay.
friend.
Just kill him.
You know, you
Trust me, I thought about it. tonight.
You call him on a phone and you say, "Hey, felt like something weird happened last time, and this. I'm going to express my concern over this. I'm not saying you have to do X, Y, or Z. I just want to let you know that your behavior was disruptive, and you know it kind of led to, it impacted everybody else's enjoyment. And I just, and it's just like we're all there to have fun and have a good time, and I don't want you to feel like we're calling you out like you're the jerk or something like that. But and you know what, man, it's just everybody's an adult, and they're going to take the hint, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I was in an adventure, I was in a campaign a few years back, and the way my character was set up, there's a lot of things that like I felt my character would do, say, whatever, that was in direct conflict with what my buddy Craig's character thought. And so there were a lot of times when we would butt heads, and it was just like, and then the problem is that, and I don't say this lightly, I just say that I'm able to disassociate my character from me. Like if somebody's like saying, "Oh, you're because I had this bard character," and he's like, it's like you're being a prick, and I'm just like, and then I'm able to like, because I'm just trying to like think, okay, what would what would Connor say in response to that, what you just said, you know, that kind of thing. And it's just like, cool, I don't really give a damn what you think. But the other person, it's like they felt that they were being disrespected by me, not their character. And so then it took me to realize, oh, you know, it isn't for them to not feel like they're getting shit on by me.
Yeah.
It's for me to recognize that I'm shitting on this person, and then I need to pull it back and
Yeah,
just
I
say,
mean-
and that's what he probably doesn't. He, or I shouldn't presume, he or she
It's a he.
probably has no clue that what they were doing was actually like, they were like, oh, I'm having fun, I'm being my character and I'm being
It was
weird.
pretty
and I'm-
apparent from all the other characters what like how they were reacting to, but maybe-
it's one of those things where it's like you don't recognize it in the
Yeah.
spirit, in the and like literally when like me and my buddy Craig were going at it, the DM finally had to say, hey, you know, you guys need to stop, you know. And he, like, in the actual session at that time, he's like, one of the two of you has got to back down
Yeah.
from this moment because you're ruining it for everybody.
so
And it was just like, oh, I apologize, let's move
Yeah.
forward.
so what happened was last week they went up a level. So
One of those things where it's like you don't recognize it in the spirit, in the and like literally when
how was
I
that?
love it when that happens. Anyway, you're saying you
So-
went up a level.
They went up a level last week, so he gained access to animate dead. And he wanted to practice with his animate dead spell. And I'm like, well, okay, but the whole, like, fair enough, but you're not new to this spell. The reason why you've gained it now is because you can actually cast it without it failing, because you have been practicing it, kind of thing, right? And he's like, yeah, that's fine, I'm gonna do it. So he goes to the graveyard in this capital city. He goes to the graveyard to go dig up a fucking corpse and reanimate it. And I'm like, as you're starting to dig, you hear this behind you, and then basically he gets busted, and then so he goes away, and he says he waits until the guy leaves, and then he goes back and does it again. So I made him roll a stealth check, and he did it fine, and he actually rolled quite well. And so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to encourage this, and I want him to role play this. Let's do it. And then he brought the skeleton he reanimated back to the army barracks with him. I'm like,
Did he
this
watch
is not
it
going to
in
go
the movie or
well.
something?
So obviously the guards see this skeleton coming towards them. They pull their swords out and they're like, you know, giving them a problem. And then he attacks. He casts hold person on the fucking guard. Right. So he's attacking the guard. Anyways, it just blew up from there. I'm like, what are you doing? It was just, I don't know. I tried.
I mean,
Did he just watch the D&D movie?
I don't know, but
I mean, that's like the best part of the D&D movie, in my opinion.
the
Well, you know,
wild
they-
shape.
No, the animate dead or whatever, the three
Oh,
questions.
that was very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
I made that reference too, but I don't know. It was just,
And I missed the closing credits scene with that guy.
yeah. It was so
Did
out
you?
of character for him though. It was just kind of funny.
So here,
Hmm.
here, let me pull up my
You-
Zoom
before
meeting.
we forget, we need to talk about the upper deck lawsuit.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to talk about that in a second here, but I want to show you this. This is my
Nice.
we're missing one. I
Oh my
couldn't,
gosh.
my friend Ike couldn't make it. The
Awesome.
kid giving the great smile, that's my son with the long hair off to the right. That's
That's
Caleb.
awesome. I love that picture.
But
It's a good
there,
picture.
that is Alex from left to right. It is Alex in the green. Bryson, the kid who's grabbing dice to roll is Noah, who's blurry, and that's my son being weird up to the side. Then we're
Noah's
gonna-
just super fast.
Yeah.
you know,
He's the
we're
Flash.
gonna play again on Friday night, and
Fantastic. Good for you.
oh man, they drive me
Are
absolutely
you
crazy.
DMing it?
Oh yes, I feel like I have to super glue them to their chairs to get them to do anything. It's just, it's so, it's I'm like, I'm like, okay, so there's a large stone door. I try to harvest the door. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Harvest door?
That's a
Well,
Minecraft thing.
yeah, I know what they're doing. They're just
Yeah.
like talking and they're using all this slang tech, all these comments and everything like that.
Right.
But
So,
it's just kind of like,
Lance
you know,
feels old.
so I have to tell you,
Mm.
when I DM'd for my kids when they were in like 7th grade, they were all over. There were like 8 or 9 of them around the table, and they were playing this game. There was this yellow fungus they found, and the yellow fungus they realized was actually zombifying these creatures. And it was on one of the players was on its boot. It was growing, and they were trying to figure out, we got to cut off his leg. We got to cut it off. How are we going to cut it off? Who's going to do it? And they were arguing like 3 or 4 minutes about this. And my daughter walks in and she looks and she says, why not just take off his boot? Every one of them went, yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
it would be more fun to saw his leg off, though.
Funniest moment ever. Just take off the boot. And they were just stunned at the simplicity of the answer. I'll never forget that as long as I live. It was a brilliant D&D moment.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, and those things happen all the time. And yeah, I mean, we're playing 5th edition, but I mean, I'm just playing fast and loose with the rules, and I'm just letting them, it's pretty classic. I mean, they're all about when do I gain a level? When do I gain a level? That kind of thing. They want to get bigger and better and what have you. They're always talking about like, well, I say we just murder that guy and take his shop. It's just like and then I did finally give them one hard lesson where they found this stone tower in the middle of nowhere, and there was like a bell to ring, and they rang the bell, and the little thing comes up, and they heard a woman's voice say, like, what do you want? And then they were like, oh, well, we were wondering if we could come in. It's like, no, go away, and it closes it. And then they were like, well, I set fire to a wooden door, just like, and as soon as they did, the wizard like opened up the thing and blasted them with a lightning bolt. And they're like, why'd she do that? It's just set fire to her door. It's like
my players now are all in their 50s or older, and it goes something like this. You shut up, cat. You see a tower, and there is a fence around the tower. The door of the tower looks like it's been broken, and it's on its hinges. What do? What's in the pasture? Let's go look in the pasture. It's just pasture. What about the woods beyond the pasture? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, there's a goddamn tower here with the door open.
just go in the door already.
They don't
I
wanna go in.
know. It's just,
Yeah, no, everybody we play with is now, well, no, there's one 49-year-old guy, but everybody else is 50 or older now.
I have to tell you, for me, AD&D is the key to everything. It's loose, it's fast, you can make shit up as you go. And when they pull the rug out from under you, you can still land on your feet really easily.
So
And then you don't have to learn anything.
I called for initiative tonight, and I fucking picked up a D6.
Did you? Yes.
See, the only problem with
Does that
if
mean-
you actually follow the
In first
AD&D
edition, the initiative was a D6.
Oh, it was a D6?
Yeah, well, it was like there was one person who rolled initiative, and like, and then one person who didn't, kind of thing. So the way for the kids, instead of making them remember what number they go on, like I have them all roll a 20-sided die, and then I roll, depending upon what they're fighting, I roll 1, 2, or 3 20-sided dice myself. And if one of them gets higher roll than what I roll, then they all go first, and I just go around the table. I'm like, Noah, what do you do? And then we go, and then we do, and then the next time it's serpentine. We just go back and forth, and that way. And so they're all super excited when it comes to roll initiative. And I'm like, I'll roll, and I'm like, my high is a 14, and then somebody will, 19. We go first. Let's get this son of a bitch. Just like they don't swear. They're kids.
What's
but, yeah.
what's the game store in Minneapolis that Bob owns?
The Source?
No, the Tower Games.
Tower Games. Yeah, there you go.
So I was talking to the dude, I can't remember what his name is, tall guy that runs games for kids. He says what he does is he does initiative the regular way, but then he makes everybody stand up musical chairs so that he goes from basically left to right whenever they do an initiative, whenever they have a new encounter. So it's always that you always know that, I go after the person to my right.
Yeah. Although there's a lot, I've
Which is
read
kinda
some
fun.
things where there's a lot of really, when you have just a go in order, like clockwise around the table or whatever, it's a lot easier, just to keep everybody like engaged, whether or not, okay, were you a 17 or a 16? 16, okay, well, 16 is after the lizard men, but before you're like, I hate getting bogged down in that crap. It bothers the heck out of me.
The new thing
just-
that I do is I just tell them, okay, here's where we're gonna do it. You guys go, then the monsters go. You decide what order you want to go in and you make your plan and then we'll prosecute it. And then if anyone survives, they're gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, classical day D&D, it was like if you're casting a spell, you went last. If you were shooting a bow
Missile
or a
weapon.
crossbow,
One at the beginning,
missile
one at the
weapons
end.
first.
Yep.
Missile weapons first, melee next, spells, and then if you had a two-handed weapon, you went after everybody else went.
Yeah,
No, but
or the second,
depending on the
second
spell,
missile.
there was different times, right?
Yeah, or the second missile weapon, right? The second short bow shot, or
Oh yeah, there you go.
and the darts, right?
And if your wizard or cleric got hit with a single point of damage, their spell was ruined.
Exactly.
And that's the classic thing where it's just like it's like, oh, you enter into the room of the dungeon, you see a group of adventurers, digging through the pockets of the dead ogres they just killed. And they're like, what do they look like? And you start going through, oh, there's a guy in plate mail, there's a guy in leather armor, you see a guy in studded leather with a bow, and they're like, good. You see a guy in robes, shoot the mage, shoot the mage.
But you know what? I firmly believe, let me rephrase that. I don't believe it. Based on my experience, I've come to accept that the old style rules, those brutal rules, they really engendered more cooperative play than the current rules. The current rules allow people to do whatever the hell they want, break off, go their own way. The old rules, it's like, no, we have to work together or we're hosed.
Yeah. And the big thing about because of the fact that and there's nothing wrong. I get why third edition started everybody down the path, and then fourth edition the greatest thing is there was never a fourth edition D&D. There was no fourth edition, but with fifth edition,
it was the Fight Club of D&D, right?
Yes, the fifth edition has had literally, and that's like all these favorite edition of D&D because it's the most like a board game. It really is. I mean,
Yeah, but it's not that fun.
But no, so fifth edition D&D obviously has sold millions of copies, and it is the most popular version of D&D that has ever been published. So obviously they're doing something right. But with fifth edition, everybody's amazing at everything. I mean, it's just so, and Pathfinder and third edition and 3.5 started us down that path where, fighters were able to do damage. So not only did they have tons of hit points and did they have tons of armor, but they were able to do damage. Wizards were able to actually protect themselves and actually and actually had hit points for the first time ever. And with all their different things. So it was like everybody got really good. And in old AD&D, it was like, oh, well, yeah, the fighters are there to do a little bit of damage, but mostly just to soak up the hits. So they can't kill the squishy mage in the back who's going to be throwing fireballs, because that's their job, to do all the damage, everything, but and try to stay alive as long as possible. And clerics for the heal suck, and rogues were around so you didn't get killed by the save versus poison or die trap. I mean, and so everybody, Jim's nail on the head. I mean, it was like you had to have one of each when you went into a dungeon. Otherwise you were dead. It was just not going to work. And yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, the old school rules for me are just where it's at. And it's just, if you haven't, what is it? The Shadow Dark rules, which was the $1 million Kickstarter with OSR rules that they're making, you should check that out. I've downloaded you can download the quick start rules, and they're pretty good. They're not bad at all. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever play it, but I backed it. I backed it for whatever the deluxe book or whatever. 1.3 million bucks for classic adventure gaming for 5e and old school players alike. One book, all you need, Shadow Dark. And it's just yeah, it's
Well,
good stuff.
on that note, I want to say to everyone, I love you immensely. Thank you for a wonderful evening. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, come back more often.
Yeah.
Ta-ta, darlings.
Good night.
See you, Jen.
Yeah.
What was the other thing we were talking about? We got sidetracked.
The upper deck.
Upper deck thing.
Yeah, the upper deck.
So my biggest thing with this, and I haven't really dove into it very much, is it just seems so weird that they're just blasting it out on social media. They're like, it's like
I don't
they're
know. What did they? Yeah.
it's like, I mean, at first I saw it, I was like, oh, somebody broke the news. No, Upper Deck is breaking the news or whatever that this is happening. It's
Oh,
like,
that how it happened?
yeah, so they are making it well known that this lawsuit's going on, and it's like they're seeking to try, it's like basically have the court of public opinion, step in on the situation, and it's a weird look, for lack of a better term.
What's the details, Scott?
What?
I don't know.
What are the details, Scotty?
Well, from the posted filing, it was they're suing the designer and Ravensburger. And I don't know the designer's name offhand. I don't remember. But if you look it up online, the whole thing's there.
Yeah.
And I think what they're alleging is that I think he was under contract for, this is all me remembering from earlier today. I read it a little bit. He was under contract to design a trading card game or LCG, or not LCG, a TCG. And,
Yep. So Ryan Miller or Steve Warner, which one of the two?
I don't know. I don't remember the name.
Those are the
I
designers
mean,
of
it's
Lorcana.
online right now. I mean, I can look it up if you want.
Yeah. So Lorcana is just so I'll let Lorcana isn't even out.
No, it's in pre-release. Like you can go play it at a convention.
Yeah, this was going to be big, wasn't it?
So yeah,
I
Lorcana
think so.
was the was a deck game for Disney Lorcana, and Ravensburger, and like as Aldo is saying, one of the two guys was working, and then it looks like they took their ideas and went, and they're working now with.
Yeah, they're basically asserting that he breached the contract, I guess, in some way by going to Ravensburger with another game design. Now the game, who knows what the game design was? I mean, I guess there's an unknown here, right? Which, like, what was the contract that he was hired under?
Right.
It was Ryan Miller, by the way. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's an 18-page complaint, so I was kind of like scanning through it, but there was some work for hire contract in 2019 where he was going to design a TCG. And I think the game was like, it says they develop basic mechanics, provide a single player demonstration deck, and use the best efforts to contribute ideas, concepts, etc.
You post a link to where you got all that, Scott?
Why? So you can do your
Yeah, I can post
Powers reaction video?
Do you want to see the filing? You just want the filing, right?
Yeah, because I was looking at some of the stories about it earlier. I didn't see that much meat on it.
Oh yeah, no one's read the filing. I mean, I read the filing earlier. And
so this is like
it's not like I committed all the memory, but I'm actually have it up on another tab.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was like he was hired to do a game, this TCG, and then they're saying that he left, he terminated the contract in, I don't know the dates. And they, they're saying they had to hire people to like finish the game. And then they are basically saying that the game has been shopped to Ravensburger, which who knows if that's true or not.
Scandalous.
They're aggrieved.
Yeah.
And they're basically
Okay.
saying it was,
Say that last part again about Ravensburger. What?
I mean, there's a bunch of alleging things: breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty
It's a fun word.
by stealing concepts and proprietary,
Yeah.
things from.
I
the game.
worked on this game,
Which one?
Lorcana.
Oh, you did.
Woo!
Oh,
Well-
well, maybe you shouldn't say anything then.
No,
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna say is when we first started working on it, it was called Lorcana. And then it's changed to a different name.
It's still
About a different
Lorcana.
theme.
Are you talking about the Disney one?
No,
Wait, you're talking about the Upper Deck one?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh well,
what
then
I'm talking
you should
about.
read this thing before you say anything.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you should
not.
I will. Hold on.
Yeah.
Not hold on.
I put the
Talk
link in
amongst
the chat.
yourselves.
talk amongst ourselves. Well, I
It
figure
was
out-
called the original
I'm
game
getting
was called Rush of
subpoenaed.
Icor. That's the Upper Deck game, Rush of Icor.
So they're saying this guy made a game.
This
with
is
Upper
the
Deck,
lawsuit. Yeah,
breached a contract, went to whatchamacallit,
I mean, here,
and made a similar game.
And now they're hooking the
they're,
Disney
they're
license
basically
up to
saying
it.
there's a fraud committed, and yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Sounds to
breach
me
of-
like they want
breach
a
of
little
contract.
cash going on here, like a
Negligent
snippet.
interference with prospective economic relations against Ravensburger. I mean, there's 7 or 6 or 7, no, 7, 8 total complaints.
You know what? That's
Oh, yeah, they're-
interesting.
Looking for a settlement. Yeah,
You think so?
with that many
mean,
complaints,
well, yeah, I mean-
usually, yeah. but
I mean, Disney is not named in this lawsuit. It is a Disney property.
I'm surprised Ravensburger is, but like, how much of responsibility is on the publisher if a person comes to him with a game and says, "Hey, I got this,"
I'm pretty sure I've done an interview with someone who was
No, I
like had a bad relationship with Ravensburger as well. Because we had to reshoot the video because I specifically mentioned them in the video. They're like, no, my bosses will not like that. Huh.
I mean,
Interesting.
we've worked with Ravensburger before with no problems. I mean, it's,
Yeah, I don't feel like they got a bad reputation.
The people I worked with were fucking aces. They were super nice.
Ravensburger.
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked with what was her name?
I mean, without knowing what the original contract was, you can't really know what's
Yeah.
going on here. Honestly, it's just
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that so I can close this tab out and
Yeah,
not
you-
do that
you-
work tomorrow.
You'd only be speculating, and I don't think there's any reason to do that without.
You know what? No, never
That
mind.
sounds like work.
Different name. I got it mixed up in my head. Different game.
Okay, yeah. But you worked on a Ravensburger game. Say no more.
different game.
No more.
It was a
There-
game about mushrooms.
Because we don't have enough of them in the world.
Is it already out?
Nope.
Don't. Yeah.
I got a question. I actually just shot a video on this earlier today. I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to do a segment that's kind of like the talk shows that I like for sports, where it's like the talking heads, arguing with each other. Sure, Lance, you know what I'm talking about, like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Except do somewhat
Yeah.
of a board game format. So I did my top 4 Mount Rushmore games of the tabletop hobby, and then had them kind of like, insult it and say what they thought about it too. But I was curious, what would you guys think of this list? Ended up being Catan, Pandemic, Cards Against Humanity, and then Risk.
Sorry, what was the premise?
Mount Rushmore of historical significance of tabletop board games, like newer tabletop board games. Like
You're not
one
going
of
to put Monopoly in there?
No Monopoly?
I'm talking like tabletop hobby, not the mass market hobby.
Oh, okay.
You put
board
Risk
game?
in there?
Hobby games. Yeah, I guess that would be it.
Hobby games.
Risk is not.
tabletop.
Risk is mass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
Risk
think
is a
it.
mass
I
market.
think it was one of the games that bridged the gap, though. Like Risk. I don't know. I think it transcended.
Hmm.
Where if you saw Risk, like I'll put it like this: if you see Monopoly in a sea of other hobby games, if somebody has 20 hobby games and then they have Monopoly, you're gonna be like, that kind of stands out. Whereas if they have Risk along with the 20 hobby games, I think it stands out less. I think you're like, all right,
Sure.
especially if it was like a themed Risk, like a Risk Legacy or a Risk 2022 or something like that.
Yeah,
I think Ticket to Ride probably has a good.
yeah, I
chance.
would too.
That was actually on my list, and then I knocked it off for Risk Legacy. I pounded my chest about Ticket to Ride, and that was like one of the first games to get it at.
Or Carcassonne.
Yeah.
I think part of the thing that helped Ticket to Ride blow up so much was the fact that it had an app out. Like it had one of the earlier board game apps that I can remember that was really, really good. And
It's
I think
excellent.
it still is. And I think that really gave it legs. I totally forgot to mention that in the damn video. But I think that helped a lot, along with being one of the first games at Walmart and Target, obviously.
Yeah, the two of the board game apps that I've had for a long time that have been really solid are that and Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah. Yep. That one's great. I've done a lot of Lords of Waterdeep.
The Catan one fucking bites because it's on my even on my iPad. It's like mice type.
I just downloaded Twilight Struggle last week, and I'm excited to like sink in an hour or so and test it out with the tutorial. Because I got that one at the table a couple weeks ago. God, that game is just so brilliant. Like I love the hell out of that game.
What game was it?
Twilight
Struggle.
Struggle. Just
It's a good game.
especially if you like if you really dig the theme, it's so. So I'm hoping the app recreates the magic with its 3.5 stars.
Yeah, the app is good. I played it.
Nice. I don't need perfect. I just need good.
That's what your wife says.
What about you, Lance? What do you think about Pandemic being on there? I think it had a huge impact on the hobby.
I mean, sure, but I mean, I don't know, man. Nobody plays Pandemic anymore. So I mean, if you're putting things on Rushmore, it has to be hitting the table. Nobody plays vanilla Pandemic anymore.
Yeah, but it's inspired all the other versions of Pandemic.
Yeah, but vanilla Risk still hits the table. Literally.
Does it? I don't feel like that does for most people.
Yeah.
I bet you more games of Risk are played in a week in the nation than it will be of most games.
100% agree. I will concede that, but I don't know.
Scott, I would have put up on
Oh,
BGG.
you're talking about. Well, this game gets played way
Well,
more.
I
but
already
this
have
other
Risk.
game that doesn't get played as much.
I'm not
goes on
disagreeing with
Rushmore.
Risk. I literally said Risk was on my Mount Rushmore. Like I'm with you. I think Pandemic's next.
I mean, Yahtzee should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I didn't go that far back. I wanted like the new tabletop hobby.
But think
What
about
about
this.
Magic?
Think of all of Magic should be on there. Think about the fact that roll your dice, pick some up, roll some dice, pick some up, roll some dice. How many games use that mechanism? And Yahtzee was, and also for the first roll and write that was ever created, ever, that was ever played.
True.
It's good. I need to phrase this video the
What about
correct way then.
Wingspan?
Egg.
So modern. What's the Mount Rushmore of modern hobby games? That should be the name of the video.
Yeah,
Well, then
Settlers for sure.
just whatever the top
Catan.
4 are on BGG at any given moment.
Oh, get out of here.
And
whatever's on
just
BGG.
have it rolling.
Significance. The significance of the games.
Well, what is
about,
significance?
Dominion.
Number of games sold, number of games played, impact on society.
Impact on
on.
a lot of things. Like the Pandemic. Like how many mass market like cooperative games were there before it that you can think
A
of?
few.
There was a few.
Not many.
Lord of the Rings.
So
I mean, I feel
But
like
that-
Lord of the Rings was really.
But that one wasn't mass market though. Like the Reiner Knizia, because that was like the first one, right?
I mean, they probably sold a bunch.
how are you not even thinking about putting Catan on there?
Catan's already on the list.
Catan has to be on there.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Catan was the one with a bullet.
Number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're only doing 4, I would go with Catan. If you're talking about like modern board games, I would say anything. I mean, I would say Catan is there.
Yeah, Pandemic.
I would go. No, I know.
know you hate
And
it.
you can say I'm just salty because I hate the game, and I would say probably, but
True. You hate it.
Magic the Gathering
Yeah, that one.
has to be on there.
I don't. I almost consider it like a chess, where it's just its own separate beast.
Yeah, but this is but think of all the other games. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I'm not. I agree. I agree.
so I mean, like that. Like I in my head, I was like, what about Dominion? But I was like, no, just Magic the Gathering, because without Magic the Gathering, there is no.
There'd be no Dominion. Well,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, so you got to go Magic. I mean, I guess if you have to throw a co-op game up there, then I would begrudgingly allow you to pick Pandemic, but that game's so garbage.
It's just
what are your thoughts on Cards Against Humanity? Like,
no,
my two friends totally
Abs-
disagreed with that.
Yeah, I don't
absolutely
want
not.
apples,
Absolutely
apples.
not.
yeah,
That
it's
is
just
Apples to
that is-
apples
that
is
is-
the game that inspired that, you know.
I
Yeah.
know it's
Yeah,
apples.
apples to
It's
apples
literally
before
it's
Cards
apples to
Against
apples
Humanity.
ripoff. But when I think of apples to apples, I don't think of the tabletop board gaming hobby. And when I think of Cards Against Humanity, I do.
So is this just
Fine.
board games? I mean, or are you actually including trading card games? Are you including role
Well,
playing?
that's what I'm trying to say. What should be the title of this Vizzy? Is it modern hobby board games? I think that's it. The Mount Rushmore of modern hobby board games.
Okay, so if it's board games, then RPGs are out. And then I guess trading card games are out, because that's not a board game.
So that's the title because that's kind of what's good. Because I agree, Magic totally up there. Chess, I think my buddy Brownie put it. Chess obviously would be up there if we're gonna go that far back in time. Go stuff like that. So yeah, modern tabletop board games.
All right, I'm out. See you guys.
Did you just say I'm out? See, I'm because he's Canadian.
You don't want to talk about your thing, Matt?
I'm not sure it's a good idea if I do.
Yeah, you're probably not. You're probably a good idea. It's probably good.
Nice trail off. What was that?
Sorry for-
That as well.
we got
I
Harrison
have
Ford up in
another
here.
grievance. I have another grievance centered around our me and Daryl's event at Gen Con. That
Lay it
came
on
up
me.
yesterday, but it's just I don't want to
Well,
the fire. So
I'll just to answer your question.
And how are we gonna get warm?
Your Mount Rushmore should be Brass Birmingham, Pandemic Legacy Season 1,
Oh,
Gloomhaven,
come
and
on.
Ark Nova.
Come
we're done.
on, historical significance.
Yeah, you chased away Matt.
You chased away Matt.
If he can't take a
Sons of
joke, then he
bitches.
doesn't need to be on here. I don't know. I mean, this is just
She don't know. She don't know.
just every time every time I pull up like the top games on the BGG rankings, I just start getting angry. It just just because I'm just like, why do you play these garbage games, you idiots?
Because some people like to have fun, unlike
What do you mean garbage games?
I just get
You know,
ridiculously
Lance.
angry about things for no reason whatsoever.
You are such a board game elitist.
He's not even a board game elitist anymore. He doesn't play them.
Well, it was funny. It was funny. So like literally, I'm not going to give any names, but I don't want to say anything about anything. So I had to play test a game because it's like it's weird if something gets past if it gets past Shane and it gets past Josh, it goes to me. And it's like, and it sees, and
You're
they
the
ask
third
me what I
barrier.
think. Yeah, like so okay, I'll play this. So I played this game with the designers, and I got done playing it. And I can't say anything too descriptive about but like Josh said, what's your feedback? And I said, I went here and I collected this. I went there and collected that. I went there and did this fantastic journey. I went here and I killed a giant monster. And I went here and I saved my village, and I went here and I became a hero of the realm. And I've never been more bored in my life. And he said, and Josh said, and this is why I try not to let Shane sign games after he's been drinking. It's just like, and then I said, and so he said, just have some people play test it of your play testing group, and let's get their feedback. And so we went and play tested it. Like a half a dozen times. it was like 8s, 9s, and 10s across the board on a scale of 1 to 10. People just
Oh, yeah.
raved about it.
You ever think you're like
And then so I
so
said to
jaded
Josh,
now that
I
you
said,
think, like, no
Josh,
game will be
I was
be
like,
good enough for you?
I told Josh I'd be really excited to see the results, and he gave me the results, and I was like, how can this be? And he's like, you just hate games.
I concur.
And I was like,
Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
do.
I was
think
like,
you
I
do.
don't think I hate him. And he's like,
I
no,
think
no,
you
no,
do.
no, no. He's like,
Lance, you come on.
and Josh,
You
and
gotta
Josh,
find your
and
target.
Josh
Yeah,
said,
come on.
and Josh said, you hate him too. I mean, Josh said, yeah, I hate games now too. So just don't worry. It just means you just played too many. You've gone behind the.
Station Fall made me sort of love games again, though. I'm not like that far off, but I was definitely on the downward like trend of like everything sort of was not fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit out there.
But Station Fall sort of brought me back around. Now I don't think that's fun for everybody because I played with a couple people at BGG Con that did not have almost any fun.
All right.
They more had fun with just being in the group.
Underground,
But,
yeah.
they didn't think the mechanics were fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
So-
looking at here and it's like, I think Brass Birmingham is a fine game. I think that's, I mean, you know,
I've not played that one actually.
Yeah, Brass Birmingham, it's a fun
Trying to
game.
remember if I did.
I
I like it.
What's fun about it?
I played brass.
it's brass, but
I know, but what
smoothed
makes it
out a
fun?
little bit.
Like
I
what's
don't
the
know,
part of it?
Oh,
just
Like
the
dumb down, like-
process.
building things, making things happen. Like I know you have
Yeah,
shipping
I mean,
things
just-
and
It's like it makes you feel smart, you know, when you figure stuff out. I like games that make you feel smart, but I mean, I'm not racing to have it hit the table because because again, I'm a curmudgeonly bastard on this one. But it's like, do you want to sit down? I'm like, does everybody know how to play? No, we got a new player. So I got 3.5 hours ahead of me. No, I don't think I'm gonna be playing Brass Birmingham today.
Yep. I'm the same way.
I have no interest in like staring at my phone for an hour and a half. I can do that or take a nap.
I want to be the
Um,
person that knows the least with a game like that at the table.
so we played a couple games this weekend. One was Sheol. Do you guys remember that? SHEOL.
I remember the name. Never played it.
.o.l. It's an interesting game, but the rulebook is just terrible.
You know.
Yeah.
Like it just, man, it's so disappointing because like I think the game is neat. It's a cooperative game and you're fighting. It's a sort of a tower defense game. And these.
See, like here,
The art,
Number 17, Castles of Burgundy. Sorry to interrupt you. I like that game.
No, it's not.
You know why I like that game? Because I could play it in 45 minutes and it doesn't, and everybody knows how to play and everybody sits down and just has a good time and everybody's just chill and just you're talking and that's why I like that one game. I was talking about what was that game I was telling about? With the big tiles and you stack them up and you have the different sections of your thing and you draft the thing. Oh man, I can't remember that. And all the tiles are like weird hexagons and you lay them on top of each other or connect to each other. And
number 9.
No, and then I can't remember the name of it, but it was just somebody taught it to me in like 5 minutes and I played it and it took 45 minutes to play and I was like, that's a good game. I like that game. You know, I mean, you're sitting here and it's just kind of like, I mean, you're looking at these and it's just like, oh, Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy, number 21. Yeah, Eclipse is a great game. I don't want to sit there and play Eclipse for 4 hours, though. I just don't want to do that anymore.
I had one of those tonight with Codex. We tried out Codex. I love Codex, 2 players. We tried out 3 players, free for all for the first time, and it just dragged forever. It was really disappointing.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, Codex still absolutely must play at 2 players if you want something crunchy, but it's 3 players.
And again, there obviously are people out there that are playing this, but who the F is sitting down and playing Barrage on a regular basis? I played that game. I was like, that game is heavy as F. And it is.
I feel like you once you get older, you start your brain for sure lessens the amount of in-depth games, I think. Speaking from experience, this is just me.
I don't know. There's a lot of war
I don't want to
gamers.
learn games, huge, deep games, because I don't like to waste the time of it because
Yeah.
I know that unless it's really good, not going to play it more than
Yeah.
once. And then I'd rather play something really good. But I think as you get older, it's just less
Here, Food Chain Magnate, great kid.
interesting.
I
think
like
it's
I like
an
Food Chain
age
Magnate.
thing.
Yeah.
Or age or experience in the gaming industry. I don't know. Like I felt like
Yeah, it could
everything, you know,
Passive
yeah,
Mirror.
new, right?
Great game.
Nothing's
played-
new anymore. Nothing's new, and it all is sort of variations of the same. Man, this phone is killing my eyes.
Yeah.
Too strong.
Underwater Cities, that's
You
good.
are an outlier. Well, all of
I'm
you.
probably an outlier.
Yeah.
Anachrony.
For me, like
Who is-
most of the
who
time, I
is-
think older players are like war gamers or take 2-3 days to play a game, and things like that.
Who is playing Anachrony this much? I just. losing
I'm
my
sure
mind.
there's still people that are. I mean, at the con, we saw people with BSG out.
Ah, Zolkin. I like Zolkin.
I think you're also discounting people who live with someone else who's a gamer and loves that game. Like
Yeah.
if I loved Anachrony and my wife loved Anachrony, we'd probably play the crap out of it.
Yeah. Do you think I
No,
play
you wouldn't.
Carcassonne this much if it weren't for Jen?
There's no way on earth. you're
I would
playing-
not
you're
because I
playing
have 2,000 games in my basement. But if I had 10 games because I was a reasonable human being, or 5 or 6 games, and Anachrony happened to be my heaviest one, I can see that being the case.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Most people who game aren't fanatics. We're fanatics.
Speak for yourself.
I wonder how many games you own, at which point it becomes that. Like, what's the number
Yeah. I
What-
don't know.
What was the question again? Sorry.
What's the number, Scott?
Of what?
The
that you
fanaticism.
become of board
Oh,
games?
where you become jaded,
Yeah, fanatic. Yeah, jaded.
or you're
No, I wouldn't say jaded. Just where you would consider someone a fanatic of board games. What do you think that cutoff number is?
Hey,
sorry, I'm missing the question.
So I would say if you had like 2 or 3 board games, maybe you got a Munchkin, a Cards Against Humanity, something. I wouldn't consider you a fanatic yet. Like,
Fanatic? No.
so what's the number? Like, what number of board games would you say? All right, that's where I consider that person to be like, they're fanatic.
If you break the 50 barrier,
50. Okay,
I
50?
think so.
Hey, if
I
you
think
live
that's a
near
fair
me,
number.
I
If
think
you live
50
near
is like
me-
a lot for some people. It's a lot.
That's an investing a lot of your house.
If you go over 50, you're definitely a serious. You're into it,
Yeah, I think it's a good
and it's
number.
also a good amount of money, right? I mean, they're like 40 to 50 bucks each. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
if
that's-
you
$2,500.
if you live near
$3,000 in board games.
Yeah.
if you live near me, when I get back from Origins, that's when I'm going to go set up the table and start, selling my games for $10 a pop
Did I
out
show
of my
you guys the
storage unit.
ring we sold off at PGG Con?
Yeah, and you made fun of the fact that the game with me on the cover was the
I
last
made
one
no
sold.
fun of you, Lance.
Oh,
made
is that
fun of
Essen
you.
game?
Oh, he wouldn't do that, Lance.
I would never make fun of
Is
you.
that game good?
Nah. He wouldn't make
Lance has
fun
never
of
been to
people.
Essen, so how would he know?
I've been to Essen once.
Oh,
You
that's
played
right.
the game,
But
Lance?
before that cover, you had not been to Essen before.
Mm-mm. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, doesn't
I
that be
don't
an
know.
essence?
I don't
Just
know
somebody
anything
in Europe appreciates Lance and what he
$10
did.
bucks. I gave over $10. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that everybody like. There's so many people from Essen on there. Not a single board game geek person. We've been there for like 15 years straight.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Okay.
it's fine.
Maybe
I
they're
don't feel-
board
I don't feel slighted
gaming.com
at all.
fans.
You don't
Yeah,
feel
probably
so.
so.
Well, Scott, a lot of people don't know who you are.
I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that.
You're the Dr. Claw of BG.
What do
No,
I say?
I mean,
I don't care.
seriously, like during the con, a lot of people just don't know who. There was a guy, we went through this at one of the other cons. He has one of your old jerseys on with your
Yes,
number.
Peter.
Peter. People thought he was you.
Because he had my name on the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of
That's
people.
okay. I like being under the radar.
Even like
I'm
Lincoln,
unassuming.
yeah. Even like I was telling you, I was sitting outside smoking, and this lady came up. It was her first con, and Lincoln came up, and I was talking to Lincoln, and she sat in front of Lincoln for about 3 minutes before she realized it was the game night. It's just
So here's an interesting story. We were at I've sort of gotten addicted to Olive Garden.
oh,
Not
Love me
addicted,
some
but
Olive
like
Garden.
I kind of like it. Like it's
It's
'cause
the
Yeah,
bread.
it's great.
it's easy calories, right? It's 60
Yeah.
60 bowls or 80 calories for a bowl of soup. There's a very a low calorie one, and then
You got the
there's
salads. Oh, you can eat the
and then
salad.
I
Yeah.
eat a breadstick. I mean, the breadsticks are probably the most calories, but I can eat a lot there for like not that many calories. And I'm like, we keep going. So there's one by the BGG building that we go to, and we were out there on Sunday night after the con, or a week after. No, it wasn't Sunday night. What was it? Monday or Tuesday night? Tuesday night after the con. And the waiter recognized Lincoln and Nikki. He basically did our whole order. He did our whole service, and then at the end he goes, "Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you guys while you're eating, but are you from YouTube or what? Or are you guys on YouTube or something like that?" And they're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh yeah, okay. I thought I recognized you guys." Like what?
That's always cool.
So
That's
every
cool.
year they get more and more. It's interesting how much more.
It is.
recognized.
How it grew. I think it's
Like, I mean, we were in the outskirts of Dallas. Like BGG building is not in Dallas. I mean, it's in Dallas, but right on the edge of
Yeah.
the border. And yeah, it was kind of fun.
Commercial area.
But anyway, I don't care.
No, I'm not saying
I
you
don't
do,
need.
Scott.
I was more like, we have been to Essen many times,
Yeah.
and Lance got on the cover. Just kind of like,
Because Lance has a big mouth.
They're probably like,
Yeah, I hear you. Well, you've been on games, right?
oh, wow. I just thought of one. Where does Arkham Horror go? Is that a Mount Rushmore?
No.
Really?
No, I don't think it is.
It's not
Even when I got into it, it was dying out. It
What do
was
Lance think
starting to
about that?
phase out. And it was a big, cumbersome game. I mean,
Was there a
Well,
lot of big cumbersome games like that back then? Because there's a lot now.
no, they're not as finicky as they used to be. They streamlined a lot of that out, especially with whatever the hell Fantasy Flight's doing with that Arkham universe. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that today. Like, I was talking to Jen. She wants the Carcassonne, so I was telling her we'll get the big box. So we have the old version, and she wanted this new expansion. What is it? The circus one or whatever it's called. Tense. I forget what it's called.
What?
But I'm like, this is the second version of this, and I don't think the rules really changed much between the two. How many times
they sort of changed the farmer's rule.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, they made the farmer's rule easier.
That's nice.
That is nice because I think that was the most complicated part of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool
for people to get into it, But then I saw something about 51st State has another edition.
Yeah, the master box or whatever it's called, I think.
Yeah,
Master set. Actually, let me check. I'm not. I feel like when I check the rules for Carcassonne, I think the
Snore. See what I did there.
Lance.
Yeah.
What games do you actually like?
What games do I like? I like Battlestar Galactica.
I guess you said you liked Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah, I like Castles of Burgundy. I like Twilight Imperium. I like.
I've never played Twilight Imperium.
Yeah, I'll just look at the top 100. I'll tell you what games of the top 100 I enjoy. And there are games here on this list that I enjoy, but I wouldn't play. So I'm not going to include those. Like, I'm not going to be like Brass Birmingham. It's like one of those things where it's like, I definitely have to be in the right mood and everybody needs to know how to play. And then I'll sit down and play that game. But here, Twilight Imperium, keep going. Dune Imperium. I really like Dune Imperium. War of the Ring. Star Wars Rebellion. I like that. Through the Ages. I like that. Castles of Burgundy. The aforementioned Castles of Burgundy. Seven Wonders Duel. That's fun. All right. We're kind of having some rough luck here.
Yeah, I think they took the farmer rule out. I think they take the farmers out of Carcassonne rulebook. I've just looked at the rulebook on Z-Man website. Not there. It's gone.
Okay.
Orleans.
You know what? But the farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've completely taken it out, which is
Okay.
weird. I was like, that's kind of a big part of the game. Now it can be. It's stupidly unbalanced part of the game. Like you can just fall into like a gigantic amount of points and
Yeah.
no real skill there. You just basically placed at the early moment. But
Food Chain Magnate, Pax Premier,
Mm-mm.
Blood Rage.
Well, yeah, it's a good.
yeah,
Like
it's
I
not even
said,
an optional rule. I just, at least from the for the Carcassonne rulebook.
I'll let you know in a week when I get you.
Broken Old.
Yeah.
Well,
That's how it started. She wanted to miss the Carcassonne.
Sleeping
And
God,
then
but I
she's
can't
like,
really play that anymore.
Do you know the pre-order? I gotta wait till they ship the pre-order. I was
It's like I'm
like,
talking to myself here.
yeah.
I am
Well, you're
playing
literally
myself.
just listing off games you like. You're that
Yeah.
kid right now. Like, let me tell you about the games that I like.
Well, I did ask if he actually liked any games.
Quacks at
Yeah,
Quedlinburg.
20 minutes ago.
Okay, Black Scotland, that's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
like
Yeah.
Quacks.
Grand Austria Hotel. I enjoy that.
But he's a game reviewer. Obviously, he
So
likes
do
a lot
I
of
at
games.
lower player counts. I don't
Well,
like
they
that.
got rid of the serpentine rules now in the new
Oh,
edition.
did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I got a
Yes.
question.
Snores of Water Sleep.
anyone
Dominant
know if
Species. Fantastic game.
Bruges, is that in print? Is Bruges in print?
No.
Damn it! I think
Beyond the Sun.
There
That
is
is
there is a reprint of Bruges, but it's not Bruges. It's
Oh,
it's not Bruges. It's some
Brussels?
it's
No.
recent. No.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Beyond the Sun, that collective tech tree, man, that was brilliant.
Hamburg,
Umberg.
but it's not the same.
It's not the same. Bruges is
It's
better.
different. Yeah, if you can find a Bruges, pick it up.
Yep.
Bruges is
Seventh Continent. That was good.
The seventh-
Battlestar Galactica. Keyflower. I like Keyflower.
Yeah,
Mm,
I
Keyflower
do
is
too.
great.
I haven't played it in a while.
Keyflower is shockingly good.
It is.
Like I think people stop talking about it. But it's so good.
Is it still in the?
It's still good. I mean, I played it like pretty recently, and it's pretty good.
Is it still in print and all that? I know it was out of the
Wow,
print for
that's
a
a
while.
good question. I'm not sure.
When I tried to get it, it was out of print. I actually got a digging then. But I think it came back in since then.
I mean, that thing's ranked 96. Although I feel like it should be higher. I bet there's probably some more games on. Yeah, I think it's still in print.
You should be higher.
It's still in print.
Why aren't you higher, Scott?
Let me look at the top 100 games that I would rather, or if anything, I would rather play more than Keyflower.
Well, it's like
I feel
98.
Keyflower is pretty
so-
great.
Station Fall.
I would play Keyflower over Arc Nova any day of the week
Arc Nova.
because I think
Man.
I feel Arc Nova is great, but it's not that high for me.
I
I
just tried
I
that
just-
this last week, and man, I am loving that.
I just sorted by thematic games, and I started kind of looking at this, and I was like looking at, and I was like, Time Stories number 7. You remember Time Stories?
Yeah, you know, they started
Yeah.
releasing those as standalones.
Did they?
I was like, I wanted to know if it was as good as. Well, I don't know. Was it ever good?
That
feel
one
like-
rule was
I feel
so
like we had some
frustrating.
good stuff, and then I played
Yeah.
this one expansion. It was a terrible translation. It was all messed up. And I
Yeah.
think it was just not good.
I hated
Yeah.
that you couldn't reset thing. You know, you had to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, like
But you don't want
why-
to give. I mean,
I feel like it was
I had
maybe
fucking
underdeveloped a little bit.
Travis Chance spoil like the big mystery of one of the Time Stories modules
Which
to me.
one?
I don't know. It's like second or third one, and I was like, dude, I haven't played it yet. Oh, you would have figured it out early anyway. No, the correct answer to my complaint was, I'm a dick. Sorry. Just not trying to tell me that like it's no big
I
deal.
think the first one was like the best one.
The Marcy's thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Marcy case was good. That one was really great. The one before that, the Insane Asylum one,
Oh yeah.
that had like the most puzzles in it, honestly.
yeah.
And I think
And,
they got
it
away
was
from
it
that.
was it was actually creepy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
You remember the guy with the umbrella,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the cane or whatever, or what was? And you basically spent all this time talking to this guy and tried to get his thing, and it was nothing. It was just such a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a total
It was a
wild
total
goose
dead
chase.
end. Like, and you had to spend a lot of time with that guy, which was a waste of your time.
Mm,
And the
yeah.
game.
I haven't played that in years. I was thinking about what I forgot to play at the con, Scott. It kind of pissed me off. I wanted to try the new version of Smersh. Ages of Smersh.
That was there.
And First Rat. I forgot about that one.
Oh, First Rat was so good. I really like First Rat.
And there was another one, but I forget.
Yeah, there's always more game. Honestly, hanging out with me is probably not the way to be at a con because I don't really play that much.
Nah, that was fine.
You know what I'm
It's-
saying?
Yeah. No,
I just, yeah, it just doesn't happen.
that doesn't bother me. It's like I said, I try to stay out of your way most of the time, but no, it was just
We
with
played Turf Masters.
yeah,
Although it was definitely like a weird room. Like it was so quiet.
yeah. It
Nobody
was,
was saying
it
anything.
was well, they were tired,
Yeah, for sure.
and I forgot how much that game frustrates me. I only played it once before, and I had something similar happen. It's just the deal of the deck is just so wonky at times.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't remember it well enough to know how to play it. Like, I mean, there's definitely a way to play it
Yeah, yeah.
and a way not to play it. And I played it not the right way.
I played that the freaky floors, freaky at the Freeman Freeze one, the old one. That was
Yeah.
a pretty fun little game.
I like that one where he moves around the board trying to get you.
Yeah,
Yep. Solid.
Fearsome
But-
Fearsome
floors.
Floors. Yeah, I was forgetting the name of it.
You still playing Shadows of Doubt there, Aldi?
Shadows of Doubt.
That was the early access game, the murder mystery game or whatever.
Oh no, I need to get back to it. I've not. I switched to Diablo fucking 4.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna buy it. I'm just
It's
not-
awesome. It's awesome.
Everything
But
looks like it's just
I'm a
more of the
little tired
same.
of it already. Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
it's just more of
there's
the
more. Although I think there's more of the after part of the game that makes it more interesting, but I don't know if I want to get to that point.
but it's just more of go here and hack, and then go back and sell your stuff. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
it's a
pretty much.
tried and true. It's a tried and true
It's just a
method,
solid
right?
system, yeah.
But
So I didn't get to finish my thought about Sheol,
yeah,
which is an amazing looking game. It's crazily highly produced. It's got awesome pieces. The art design is amazing, and the rulebook is terrible. And it's
It is.
simple. It's a simple game.
Yeah.
Although I think they made it a little more complicated than it needed to be, honestly.
Hmm.
So anyway, Sheol.
Shield.
I'm not gonna play it again. And it's like, it's a campaign game with like fucking 30 missions, and it's like I'm not gonna play it. I can't dedicate time to it.
Yeah.
I got my copy of Into the Unknown, or not Into the Aeon Trespass.
Oh.
Aeon Trespass, yeah. Into the Unknowns, and I pulled my copy out of the packaging. It's ready to roll if I want to play it.
If you want to play it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I almost want to see it just to see what
Was it 900 hours of gameplay with the new
Quackle
expansion?
I only have the base game,
Oh,
which is
it's
a
only
lot.
like 500 hours. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
What
mean,
are you doing with your life?
the thing is, if it doesn't start up very quickly, I'm not going to play it. I have to go look at it and see what I have.
You gotta go at least halfway. Give it 250 hours.
Yeah, that's all.
Here's
An
the
An
hour a
days.
day, it's almost a year.
I
that's
posit
all.
a theory to you guys. These gigantic box campaign games are ruining the gaming industry.
oh, I agree 1,000%.
Where is
1,000%.
standalone games that you can finish in an afternoon and be done
Yeah.
and have a solid game, like in the adventure world and in the fantasy world and all that stuff? I mean, like, where are those games? They don't exist anymore.
I think we're in the bubble of these games. I think we're going to see a decline eventually. I really do, and I think it's going to be sooner
Chaz
rather than
Butler's been
later.
saying that for a decade.
Yeah, well, I'm saying
You
it
know?
now.
So I also did play another game that I really thought was cool that didn't need a box of what it came with. Could have totally been an app.
Pictionary Air 2.
It's the Vampire Masquerade chapters.
Vampire
It literally
Masquerade.
comes with 30 fucking books.
Oh, does it?
Like, and they're little books. They're like this big. They're little like half book, like quarter books.
Yeah.
But they're cool. It's a sort of a like it. The book is like it totally should have been an app. And by the way, they give you these thick cardboard maps that almost like are pointless. Like maneuvering around in the map is almost like pointless. Like unless I've not seen enough of it to know that the game needs a lot of maneuvering, like a tactical combat. Because all we did the first mission, which is basically turns into a fight, and you fight a vampire, an enemy vampire, and like the combat was just go around the table. There was a little maneuvering, but like it's so little. and there's this giant map, and there was like comes with like a stack of maps. That's, I mean, it's 2 to 3 inches thick of maps. And I'm like, what? Why? Like the fun part of the game was the investigation and the adventure part of the game, like the role playing part of the game. Although you don't really role play, it's just you choose the path. It's a choose your own adventure group, choose your own adventure investigation in the vampire world, which is an awesome world, right? Like it's a pretty cool world.
But how is it still gamery though? Like,
Yeah,
it's
it was
still
totally a game.
gamey.
Yeah, it's a game. Like it would and you do the
Fucking
prologue
awesome.
mission. Like each character that we played with had a prologue mission where you play solo. So we just basically went through each person's mission, and then we played a group mission. And the writing is really, really good, very good.
What is
And
it?
we were all intrigued and engaged and deep into this. Like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. And then you play the game, and it's got a lot of content, all not necessary. Like the books, like 30 books. Like if you go look at it, go look at the picture of the game and see all the books that are in it. And you played the books once. I mean, I guess you could play it again if you want, but like, why would you? You got to make different decisions. There's a couple different paths in there. Like one of the characters' prologue book was literally like an inch thick, and he went through like maybe 20 pages of the inch. Like he could have gone 10 different ways through that book, and like, why? Why didn't they just make an app?
What game is that?
Vampire the Masquerade chapters. You know Vampire the Masquerade, right?
Yeah, I remember the card game.
Well, you know the setting.
Yeah.
Like the vampires they're all these different vampires of different clans, and they all
Yeah.
have different abilities and traits and all this stuff. Like
Right.
some are artists, and some are like rich, and some are like, you know, they have like special powers, and
I played a little bit of the
and I think it's
card
really
game back then.
interesting, and I like the setting. World of Darkness, yeah.
Yeah.
Kabuki hit that. And this game is written really well, very well.
Mm.
I was stunned how well it was written. And a lot of the guys at the table were like, wow, this is really good. You know, because we started,
Yeah.
I basically read the first, it was like a 4-page prologue. My voice was tired at the end of it. Anyway, it's weird. Like I mean, I'm happy that it exists, but man.
So other than the 30 books, that's the only complaint about it, is just the 30 little books.
It's not really a complaint. No, there's not really. I should upload some images.
RPG in a
Yeah,
box.
there's no book. It's basically an RPG in a box, but
Okay.
it's not an RPG in a box. It's because it's a choose your own adventure.
Right.
It's a story driven thing.
A branching narrative.
Yep.
That looks,
And I like that. And
yeah.
I wish it. I just feel like the books were probably not necessary, but they did their thing.
Scott, do you have poker chips in the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to look.
Um,
I pulled out Lords of Vegas again. The neighbors across the street. But the paper
yeah.
money drives me nuts.
yeah,
Yeah.
paper money's annoying. Yeah.
This thing,
So
maybe I
that was
could-
my game day. Sheol and Vampire, and then we also played Powerline again.
How many?
I don't think I like that game.
You don't? Too
I
much
don't know.
randomness
I'm
with
not
the
sure.
dice.
It's too random. It's a bit too random.
The dice,
You
yeah.
can't mitigate it at all, and it's just rough.
It's part of the
I mean,
fun.
maybe there's a. And I'm not giving up on it though. I'm gonna play it again, I think, and then see if I can do any better. But if you just don't roll those dice, you're really
Yeah.
just taking it on the chin.
That's the best part of the game for me.
What?
Because then you
Taking
can
it on the
shit
chin?
talk who rolled the dice.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's
there is a
a
lot
really
of that.
cool dice selection mechanism.
Yeah,
One that I hadn't seen before.
yeah. Yeah, it is. Has anybody tackled the long route in the middle?
Yeah, one of our guys did, and he made it.
Start in the beginning?
Started literally on the second turn.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I said, if you start this, you got to pretty much start it right away. And I did not heed my own advice.
Yeah. I was going to do that with the game I played with Jenna, and I just forgot. We still enjoy it, but we've only played it the one time since we got back. But again,
I
maybe
mean,
that's
I think it's a good game. Like, I just don't enjoy it. I think I don't love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, like, I don't know. It's just one of these weird games. Like, I feel like I want to love it though.
Yeah,
The mechanism is so interesting, but
I want to wait to see what else is in the box to see something maybe
there's a lot of
mitigates
stuff in the
that.
box.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in the box that could make it more, but I don't know if there's that much in the box.
I don't know.
The
Yeah,
luck of the dice is still the same.
I don't know what them little thin boards were for. It's like I said.
It
I'm gonna
changes
look
it changes the rules a little bit.
Is it?
Like it changes the point scoring rules.
So it has nothing to
I
do
think
with dice
I'm-
mitigation.
I don't
Okay.
think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think if there was a way, like maybe once around to mitigate a die or something,
Well, you get the wilds, right?
Yeah, that's
The
true.
way this game works is you roll was it 6 dice?
6, yeah.
6 dice. Or 5. No, 6. And then you place them in this array in a specific order from like it's black, white, blue, red, green, yellow. Or, yeah, I think that's it.
White, black,
then-
yellow.
Yeah, black, red,
Yeah.
black, white, blue, red, green, yellow. Yeah,
Yeah.
6 dice. And then a line. And so starting from the left side of the dice or starting from the right side of the dice, you have to take them in order. Right? Which is kind of cool. So the order of the dice matters. You start from this side, you start from that side, and then you have to place these dice as workers on your board, which are power lines between power plants. And you're trying to build the line across by putting them in the right order. So if you get let's say you get a black 6, you have to first take that guy and put the little black worker on a 6, then a white 2, you put that on another, and it has to be like in a line. And your power lines you're building your power line simultaneously, but you can only place 3 power lines a turn. It's hard
At
to
most.
really tricky at
Yeah.
most 3. But so if you get a 6, a 2, a 5, a 3, a 1, and a 7 or 6 in a row, then you lucked into a perfect hit and you could just start putting the dice down. So there's a lot of luck to it.
Yeah. No, I think, like I said, there should be not a mulligan, let's call it. Like there's a couple times where we roll like nothing but 2s and 6s or something like that. There should be something to mitigate that. But other than that, I
Then
think I enjoy it so
You can
far.
skip a die, but you have to put a worker on vacation. So
Yeah.
if the red dice doesn't work for you at all, you can skip over it, and that costs you a point, and then you skip if you get to the next one. So I think the dice mechanism is cool. It's just too dependent on rolling a number.
Right.
If you're out of wilds and you don't roll a 4,
Yeah, shit out of
there's
luck.
nothing you can do. And you got 4s blocking you in a couple different places, you're not going anywhere. And yeah, part of the game. But it only affects you because all the boards are random. They're not the same.
Yeah.
Like we're not playing the same boards, which would be interesting because then who could do it better? Which is, but anyway,
Yeah, I didn't think about that. but
it's worth trying just for the dice mechanism placement.
Yeah. I also like that direction mechanism thing too.
Right, and then when you're building your power line, you start on the left, the far, the one of 2 sides, and once you start going down one side of the power line, you can't switch. So that's kind of interesting.
You're stuck with it. Maybe that's why nobody's talking about it, Scott.
But the
People are
best game we
frustrated.
played of the day was Nana.
Yeah, I did enjoy
Nana.
that.
It's a killer. It's so
Nana.
good.
It's a stupid memory
It's gamer
game.
Go Fish.
Yeah.
Yep. You have to remember where the cards are, and you have to find three of a kind.
Oh yeah.
Remember, did I talk about that one?
I think we
Yeah.
talked about it last week. Yeah.
And you only ask a person if they show us your lowest card or show your highest card. That's it. 2 rules.
Yeah, I actually want to get that out
You have
this
to
week.
find the sets. I had 12 copies at the beginning of BGCon, and I left with 1.
You left with
I
one?
gave them all away. Yep.
What, did you have 6 of each?
I had 6 of each kind. I had
Each
6 of the
form.
Christmas one and 6 of the regular.
Yeah, Jen grabbed one of the. I actually saw that today.
I think she liked the Christmas one.
Christmas one. Yeah. She just actually popped open that one with the little wooden animals in it. I forget the hell what it was.
Jenna?
She was popping that open today, and Camel Up. She won a door prize.
Oh,
One of the daily ones, I think it was.
yeah. Okay.
There's a couple cool games.
Did she get loaded up with games?
She got
Prizes were pretty significant when I look what I saw people were winning.
she got camel up, that micro macro.
Micro macro.
That game I can't think of the name of it. Some with hedgehogs or something. She got 4 or 5 games, and then we each got one when we got the
Good total
badge.
course, yeah.
Yeah, I think we came on with like 7 games.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember what else she got though. Oh, one of the Back to the Future things. Back to the Future dice in time or something. A Ravensburg, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. But, my kid-
Yeah, I can't
You guys
remember.
win anything lately? Any new stuff? Old stuff?
I played Ticket to Ride again. Lords
I-
of Vegas.
Did you guys see the Ticket to Ride Legacy?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I wanted to
heard-
look
I
at
heard.
that.
$100.
Yeah. I will not be buying that.
I finally played Wingspan again.
Eggs.
Think of the second
Eggs.
time.
It was fine. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's, I only played it
Yeah.
once. But
Yeah, it's okay.
Never played it.
Did you guys already talk about the Ravensburger thing?
no,
Touched
what's
on it.
your
What's your take on that?
What's your take on it, Evan?
Do you understand it more in depth of what it is?
I read the filed suit that was linked, or at least hits of it. I didn't read it cover to cover, but I read certain parts. And obviously I'm not a lawyer, so who knows? But it sure seems like there is a reasonable case there on a couple of the points. Especially when you start pulling in the fact that a prior employee moved over and it appears took what they were working on here and being paid to work on here.
You would have to see what the contract was.
Right. You'd have to read the contract to see what exactly, yeah. But I don't know. I'm very, very interested to see what ends up happening, because the way that this case goes, becomes precedent for future cases.
Very possibly.
So,
But I don't think. I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't be the first time a game designer left a company and took their game to another company, right?
Right.
oh, definitely not. But how often does it come up in this way and become a suit?
Yeah, I guess
A
it
lot
depends.
of Disney money. They want
Lot
to
of
dip them
Disney
pinkies in there.
Disney.
Give me that Disney
Damn
money.
Disney.
They
Get
ask
those
for-
deep pockets.
Did they ask for a TRO or temporary restraining order on it at all?
Think so.
Because they were basically asking that they weren't being allowed to sell it yet.
Right.
I think so.
That was
yeah.
that was quite significant. I
Yeah.
guess they
Yeah.
would rule on that fairly quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's coming out in a few months, right? Or
Yeah.
Isn't it like
Yeah.
Gen Con?
Gen Con, right?
Yeah. That's soon. That's like.
I imagine they had a big
month and half.
rollout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a big deal.
So I don't know what to think. I haven't read.
I gotta-
his
I
contract.
gotta
or
wonder
anything.
though, like, will Disney get involved in this? I mean, they're not named in the lawsuit at all, but it's their property.
I feel like
I mean,
it's such small
it's a licensed
potatoes.
property,
I
right? It's-
doubt they will.
Yeah.
I doubt they will sully themselves with it because
They-
they're just the licensor.
They got enough
I mean,
shit
they're
on their
just an
plate
energy
for us,
licensor,
Scott.
right? They're not. They didn't design the game. They didn't steal any, protected information. Like they're as far as I know, obviously. But I doubt it. It's probably just Ravensburger and this Miller guy.
So what normally happens, like in a situation like this, where a designer takes a game from one company to another company, and say the other company unknowingly published it? What happens then?
I'm guessing it just depends on what the contract between the prior person and the
Yeah.
designer said, and how interested the prior person is in pursuing legal action. And I'm sure
Yeah.
sometimes it's pretty egregious and they just don't do anything. They're like, well,
Yeah, it's not
move
worth the
on
money.
next.
Yeah.
Or, maybe this has come up several times in the past. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But obviously I'm very interested to see what happens.
Yeah, because you want to shop your shit out. I'll sell the 2 for you, motherfucker.
Because I'm gonna steal it. No.
Just slap another name on it.
It'll be great. But yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
in
I'm
some
sure
other
it'll- I'm
field
sure
there has to be something
Someone
like
will
this.
start tracking this case.
I've never-
Did anybody's? I got something to
a
lighten
federal-
the mood a little bit.
It's not a federal. lawsuit.
Oh, lighten it up.
Did anybody happen to see the post from I think it was Catalyst Games Lab from it's like their CEO or something, and she's like bragging about how she's hanging out with Ja Rule. And it was
Yeah.
just it was so weird. I was like, good for you. Like that's just not what I was expecting, like
Wait, who's the CEO of Catalyst Game Labs?
I don't know. I think it was Catalyst Games Lab. It was on their Facebook. Like I just thought it was I thought it was humorous.
Because every time I see Catalyst at a show, I don't recognize the people in the booth anymore, whereas I used to.
Catalyst. I think it was Catalyst.
Because you're an old man in the hobby.
I know, right?
Yeah, Catalyst Game Labs used to do our muling. They would we would send them for stuff for Gen Con and they would bring
Yeah,
it in, right? But then that got sort of put an end to.
yeah. So I used to know a bunch of folks over
Yeah.
there. Oh no, it's still Lauren. Okay. And Randall. Okay, I do know.
Yeah, so it's Heather hanging out with Ja Rule. I was like, cool. It just seems so weird.
That's fun.
I don't know if you want to be connected. Wasn't he connected to that fire festival or whatever it was?
He is,
To the Fire Festival.
I don't know if he'd be the
That's
best
not fraud.
Yeah.
but it's not like it's a personal thing. Like it's just I just thought it was so odd. It'd be like if Days of Wonder was hanging out with Bon Jovi, you'd be like, well, that's okay.
Not a good
That's,
fit,
I
but
don't know what to do
yeah.
with that information, but cool, good for them. Like the CEO of Day Windsor.
Well, they want to share their moment. That game night thing looks so different on camera.
Good game.
Oh, did you go on?
That plaque thing.
Oh, my plaque.
Yeah, it looks
Oh,
so
okay.
different on camera.
What's different about it?
Just the color looks different.
Do you think it's too light? Too?
No, I mean from
pretty
in
light blue.
person, it looks different.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean it doesn't really.
I mean, it could just be the
Either way.
color, the colors of either Aldi's cam or
Hold on
your
a second. Let me see
your
what I can do.
interface. Oh, and he's gone.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
Don't talk about my camera.
Talk about this
I
camera.
don't know why. I don't know why I turned off the camera. I didn't really need to.
He didn't want to moon us. Yeah, it looks lighter on camera.
Yeah, it's
That's what I remember.
definitely around. I mean, it's a pretty light stain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the sign you made. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a game. It's got. You can store your game pieces in there.
Oh, that's
Like-
awesome.
Like a
Does that have the redwood or the
uh,
purple heart on the out?
Oh, this is red.
It's redwood.
It's
Okay.
like a walnut, or what? What did you put?
No, that's red. That's red heart.
Red heart.
Yeah.
Is that a
Some
type of
that's
wood?
red heart, some that's purple heart.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's neat. Oh, you
And I
made
put the
those,
other
right?
one in.
Right,
I
Barry?
put the other one in the office.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just seen it there. It's just it looks so different.
I
On
tagged you on the
camera.
photo. I think didn't I?
Oh, I don't care.
The one I
Scott.
put in the office.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
I forgot. I didn't really realize, but I had put it next to my the YouTube button, the 100,000 subscribers button.
Braggy.
Ooh, I put it right next to the 100,000 subscribers.
Like you wouldn't be if you had one. Hell yeah.
You would
Braggy.
put a play button up in the Lance. If you
Oh
had-
my
If he
gosh.
had one,
yeah,
yeah.
that's an
One of my-
accomplishment.
I have to brag that a little bit. I got a little brags.
Little brag.
A little bit
One of
brag.
my fellow designers posted something on a designer group like, hey, like I got this award. Like, is it okay to like post and say that I got this award? Or is that
Which
you know?
one would that be?
I'm like, yeah, you should post and say you got this award. Like that's the whole point, man.
Which award was it?
I don't remember. It was one of the
I haven't
I mean-
seen anybody with their Golden Geek medals yet. We sent out like 50 medals.
yeah.
Oh, you actually sent a medal out with them?
Yeah, we sent out.
Well, if I got one, I would proudly display it. But
But he
obviously,
don't because
that's
he's got
not
a
what
shit
happened.
game.
Ugh,
There we go.
I actually thought
That
for a
thing
second
that-
about getting your game out of the library.
don't
and
do
then I
it.
Changed my mind.
Don't do
I
it.
need to check the stats. I got to see what got checked out.
I know, right?
Oh, how is that My City rolling right, Scott?
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
really
what I
good. It's very good.
Nice.
Yeah. And we only played the first island, but it's pretty, it's a simple like roll dice and place the buildings, but they get more and more, gets trickier as it goes, right? Get a little more complicated.
Dude, Ryder Nitsia, man. Like how like what I would love to be a fly on the wall on like how much time does he spend designing games and like
His
Probably
entire day.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's extremely dedicated to it. Like
Yeah.
it's very, he doesn't screw around.
Then he
Yeah.
just
I mean,
reprints
I don't even know what he does
30-year-old
for fun.
games.
design board games, man?
I think for fun is his board games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's a machine.
It's absurd. It's amazing.
I need to dig up that interview. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I did a 4-hour interview with him.
Oh, wow.
Is it on
wow.
YouTube?
No.
Dude, you should put that on YouTube. I bet a lot of people would like to see that.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to do that.
Why don't you give him a
Nah,
buzz,
I don't wanna
Scott?
do anything
So
like
here's the
that.
thing. Me and the person who did it with, I did it with, got more and more drunk as the night went on.
That sounds like,
Oh.
an
Like I
awesome
was totally
interview.
slurring my words at the end of it.
I
It was
definitely
like
want
many
to see
hours.
this interview.
Like we would crack open a bottle like at the beginning of the show. Of course, that one went on for hours, and we were like, okay, well, where's the second bottle, third bottle?
That sounds
We
amazing.
put down some good wine.
Yeah. I want to
Like,
watch. I want this
I
even
wanna
more
see
now.
that.
It sounds like you get
I cannot-
canceled today.
I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fair. That is
Yeah.
fair.
It's a good reason.
Yeah.
I almost want to listen to it to hear what I sounded like from 10, 15.
Hi, it's me, Scott Alden.
I wonder if you could cut out
18 years ago.
I could cut out snippets of it though. Like you could easily so you could
Maybe. It's
totally
Too much
omit the
work.
parts. It's not when you have a team of people that you could hand that like just
That they
hey,
can
here's a
do another
project.
shit
No one
with.
wants to listen to that.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I would.
I
golly,
know you guys
doggone
do,
it, this
but-
was
I
a
know
great
you guys
game.
do, but I
We
know you
would,
guys
yeah.
do.
Gee
I
whiz,
think a
liked
lot
it.
of people would be
I can-
interested in that.
And
Especially like what did he talk about for 4 hours?
I know we actually even had to take a bathroom break.
I did.
And he's like, that's all on the. I remember.
Yeah.
That's
I should have
hilarious.
probably cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's part to cut out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
I kind of like
it's-
it when people.
It
leave
was
stuff
also midday for him, and it was like
Oh yeah.
1 a.m. for us. Not midday, but like morning for him.
in. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude, that was a night.
If that was still a format, like I would watch that show.
The 4-hour show.
Well, yeah, where like people just get more
I mean,
and more
we-
progressively drunk throughout.
There
the
we
show.
go, Lance. It's a new Alaboom. We start off with a bottle of whiskey every night.
There you go.
Crack open some whiskeys.
I would
don't like
watch that. I would watch
That's
that.
a tequila or something for me.
I'm good with
Although
tequila.
I also
Make
well,
it a killer.
Every time somebody
not
says
really doing
Disney, you have to
anything
take a shot or whatever. Something
Okay.
or BGG.
UTG. Scott, you should call up Mr. Dr. Knizia. Get another interview.
Just get him on the podcast.
No, not on this. We bore him to death.
Yeah, you never know.
I think he's done some interviews lately. I feel like he has.
I bet you
did
him
one
and
with
Lance
him.
could chum it up.
So we did one with him. Eric did one with him at God, what year was it? Let's find it. And it was good. Very good.
Back in 1924.
That's to be a game,
we had to walk
Lance. Like when
6
we got a
miles
guest
in the
on.
day.
Back in
6
my
miles
day.
in the snow to get to the game store.
On his 30-year anniversary of game design, we did in 2015. It's a
Wow.
56-minute interview. Here he is.
Wow.
35.
I put it in the chat.
38 years.
We did that 7 years ago.
Ugh.
Wow, time flies.
We didn't have European games, and that's the way we liked it.
Yes. Screw your Ameritrash.
Sorry or bust, I say.
Oh my gosh, Eric looks so young.
We
I
all
wish-
look young.
I know, believe me, 7 years ago was not that long ago either. Man, the age of the years come quick.
It's not the
Yeah.
years, it's the mileage.
Mileage, yeah. Well,
Another fabulous line from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Or from my biomechanics classes, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop at the end.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, too dark. Sorry, too dark.
That is too dark. Yeah.
Even Eric
Ah,
looks young. He had hair.
Yeah, well, he just shaved his head for.
Yeah, I
his-
saw that down at the down in
Well, he was,
Texas.
did you see him at BGG?
I didn't
He was there-
talk to him.
He was only there for like 2 days. He
Yeah,
left.
no.
What are you doing, man?
I see him a couple times, but it was in passing. I
He
didn't
came
know
in
he
late
stopped.
and left early.
Uh,
Yeah,
Oh,
the
the
Burke
link is out
brothers
there.
did too.
Yeah, if you just search for, I guess I can post it. Hold on.
I actually just watched this thing about
30 years.
the new
ago.
Frostgrave, not Frostgrave,
Frostgraven.
the
Frostgrave.
second edition of Gloomhaven.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that either. What do you guys think about that?
I haven't played it.
I think it's a big boom for backer kit. I mean,
yeah.
Has it gone live yet?
I don't know. I
No,
think
I
it goes
think
next
it's
week.
the end of the month. Yeah,
Oh, they're just
Frosthaven.
they're just
Oh, I
building it.
just assumed it. What was the second one that came out?
Frosthaven just came out like last
Didn't that already
year.
come out?
Yeah.
Wait, what are you
Yeah,
talking
this
about?
is the second edition of Gloomhaven.
Yeah,
Second
it's got
edition Gloomhaven.
60,000 pre-launches. I think it was something like that. It's nuts.
60,000. Like
on
vol-
backer kit, huh?
Wow. Yeah, it'll probably do well.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you don't think people will be? I mean, I know there was some blowback, but
Well, it's not just that; it's the miniatures and it's the role playing game. So there's a little bit of everything there. And the fact that it's going to have the minis for Gloomhaven, I imagine means it's going to be $1 million minimum. At least you would think that on Kickstarter or GameFound, but it's going to be interesting to see how it does on Backer Kit. Like I'm
Yeah,
fascinated to see how this
That's
one goes,
interesting.
because that's you got to sign up for it. A lot of people,
Ross Thompson.
Scott, do you have it up? How old is Gloomhaven? It's like 5-6 years. 15
yeah, I
maybe?
think so. Yeah, it must have come out in 2018,
18?
17.
17.
Yeah,
So 6
17,
years.
6 years. Is that long enough for a drastic second edition like this? Like, from what I understand, you can't use the first edition at all, right? Or did they have some
So
kind
what
of
they've done
conversion
is they've
kit?
completely redone the artwork and the I think everything but the mechanics.
Yeah,
Like
right.
new character stuff, new artwork, new plots. I mean, I think it's sort of mostly the same plot, but there's definitely some differences.
Because of the way the cards are set up now with the powers and all that. I forget. It's been a while since I played Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
But I can understand why people are getting upset about that. Because they
I can
just bought
understand
this $150 game,
But
and
you
now
can
they're
still-
expected to
like,
buy it again.
You're not expected to buy it.
Well,
Why would
not
you buy,
expected,
why would
but
you
I
buy it
mean,
again? Like, is it so different that if you never bought either one and you're going to purchase, you buy the second one. If you just bought the first one, like, do you need the second
Yeah.
one? Is
Do
it
you
that
feel
different?
like you need the second one? Like it's still a great game. Like
well,
you're
I'm
not-
saying if you're into this Gloomhaven universe, which they're obviously making, they're
Yeah.
going to come out with expansions with this. So the first edition, you can't do anything
Founders
with.
of Gloomhaven.
Went through this with Pandemic and 51st State, and
Yeah.
there's a couple other games, I just can't think offhand. Yeah, and you're muted for us, so you're just mouse moving. Can't
Oh.
hear what you're saying.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, some people need the newest, biggest, best, whatever, and then will complain if there's something else new, bigger, or better. Right. And that's just a thing that's going to happen with a certain percentage of people. For
Yeah.
me, I happily picked up the old version of Great Western Trail cheap. Right. Because I was like,
yeah.
I don't care, about a new edition.
and I think a lot
I'll
of people are
pick
like
up the
that,
old one.
honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's only really the
For the most part, I'm like that. But like I
Mhm.
said with Carcassonne, since they changed all this artwork and all this, every expansion coming out now is with the new edition. So the old edition, and you sunk all that money in the old edition, Arkham Horror, shit like that.
Maybe I'm just weird. Like when when you hear a song for the first time, even if it's the cover, in your head, that's the correct version of that song. And any song you hear after that, right, that's not the right version, even if it's the original.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I'm the same way. Like when I look at the newer versions of like Castles of Burgundy and stuff, I'm like, oh, I miss the old art.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
get so used to what I'm used to that like a new edition just doesn't interest me much. But I'm a weirdo. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way for the most part. Like I said.
I finally learned what every single one of those tiles means. I do not. I don't want to have to relearn.
I mean, it's interesting though. I think a lot of people will be like waiting now, maybe, but it's not going to come out for like over a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not just play the game now and be happy? I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder how it's going to hit their sales.
Postpone yourself.
Yeah.
And play Jaws of the Lion until you get to. I mean, there's probably a lot of play in Jaws of the Lion.
It seems like they're
Or by
coming out.
Frosthaven. That's
Yeah. It seems like they're coming out with games kind of quickly with this. You know, like you said, Jaws of the Lion, then Frosthaven just came out last year, earlier this year. I don't even remember.
It
was
landed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been in the works for longer than that.
Well, all of them have. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, you know, with Cephalofair, I mean, do they have another game line? They're not actually putting out that many products.
well, aren't they doing the RPG?
Oh, maybe they are
I
putting
don't
out a
know.
bunch of products. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Probably.
Well, I mean, it's
just throwing shit out.
Oh,
there.
actually, Frosthaven's already on the top 100.
Oh, of course.
It moved up quick. I think
Yeah,
it was
of
not
course.
there like last week. Let me check the history.
Epic strategy awaits.
Oh yeah,
Stop.
now everybody
hit-
knows.
It hit
Oh,
89 on. It broke in the top 100 in May 26th, so not even a week ago. A couple
There's
weeks
only
ago.
5 separate board game products that I can see that they have come out with ever.
Cephalofair.
I mean, there's like
Well, they had
expandy
They had
things.
Forge
and fancy
War and
things.
Founders of Gloomhaven.
Right, yeah, I'm seeing those here.
Yeah.
Forge War, Founders, Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, and then now the second edition, I guess. And that's all I'm seeing.
Can we talk about AEG? Like,
Oh yeah,
I think their Kickstarter video is absolutely freaking genius. I think they're running a fantastic campaign there.
what's this for?
For what?
Oh my gosh. Somebody should put it up on the screen, watch it for 2 minutes. They went totally hokey used car salesman. I think they absolutely crushed it. And I think you're going to see people copy it. I think we will
What's the
see that
name?
within the next year.
I
let's
will
see it,
say,
Lance.
no, you're wrong.
Let's see it,
and
Lance.
You can look it up. I'm not. You're wrong.
What's the
but
name?
I'll
It gives
tell
us
you
something to look
why.
at.
It's because nobody watches those videos.
I disagree.
Just
They have the #1 most popular, 150 grand, and they're essentially selling their back catalog along with 4 new expansions. Like,
what's the campaign name?
Yeah, I have no idea.
it's the most popular one. It's the AEG. They got 4 expansions. It's the expansions
Game name.
extravaganza.
Extravaganza. Okay, there it is.
And in the video, oh my gosh, it is just, I love it. I'm telling you,
kiss.
stream it. It's
No, but no. I
Yes,
mean, you look at the stats. People on average watch 15 seconds of a video.
and I think
On
this will
average?
catch their interest.
You're
All
wrong.
right, put it up, Lance. Let's make the decision. Let's see 15 seconds. We'll see if we want to keep going.
Ready?
Mm,
Entertain me.
I watch a lot of Kickstarter
I
videos.
watched 11 seconds of it. And I already wanted to turn it off. I was just like, this is dumb.
Is
I'll
this
just
Lance
read.
the curmudgeon who can list 8
No,
games he likes in the
it's
top
just-
100?
I-
These are 8 good games.
No, you guys go check it out and then see how long you actually want to
it-
listen to it.
Just put it on the screen. I'm too lazy.
Yeah, well, then,
I don't even know what it's called.
If Reiner
I found
Nitzio's here, you would have this up on the screen. I
I
guarantee
found-
it. We'd get into
Just
A
type
game
in, go to
Lance.
Kickstarter and type in AEG, and then you will see it. Like it's like, oh, I'll just scroll down.
All right, you guys want me to share my screen?
Please.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. How do I do it?
I want to know if it's just me. I love the video. Love it.
Where's my share screen? There it is.
The
It's
green
right in the
button
middle
at the
at the bottom.
You gotta make
Favorite-
sure
Click
audio
your,
is shared.
click your audio
Alright.
too. Click your audio.
Click share sound.
Share audio. Yeah.
Okay, is that up?
Boom.
Yep. Purple background.
Can you hear it?
AEG's gone expansion crazy with our latest
Little
campaign.
hot, little hot.
Turn it down a
An
little bit.
extravaganza! We've not only gone crazy on expansions, we're offering these great base games at crazy prices. Space Base, $45. Too high! We're slashing that price to $29. War Chest, $49. Tiny Towns for $49. Let's slash them both close to $29. Cubitos with all those dice for $59? Too high. Let's slash that to $39. But did
Yeah,
you know most of those
no,
games
turn this
already have
off.
some
This is
great
annoying.
expansions? What
Yeah,
are those?
I think
dice?
it's fantastic.
Slash them all.
I mean, it's
Thought it was a little loud.
Look at those deals. Those are great deals. Like those are legit. If you found those at a convention, you'd be like,
So-
I got a good deal.
Lance
Yeah, but
always
it doesn't mean I
says,
wanna listen to
if
that
they could
video.
sell them for full price, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
exactly.
Isn't that the thing, Lance? I mean, like,
I mean, why would I sell something for $29 when I could sell it for 45?
I mean,
They're liquidating their
They're
stock,
like-
and
it's a
kudos to
liquidation.
them for doing
Yeah.
it.
No, they're not. Because here's the thing: it doesn't ship out until 2024. And yes, that's what I thought too. But I think they're just like I feel like this is the
I'll tell you
Kickstarter.
as- I'll tell you
Wait,
as a
let me let
publisher.
this out. I want
it's
to
a
show
crazy
you.
Eddie. Crazy
Because
Eddie.
you're wrong.
So crazy.
You're wrong.
I
and
think
I'll
it's
explain
the
why you're
It's a
wrong.
tax
on
thing
now.
at the end of the year.
Come on
I
down,
think
leave
the-
my hat.
I think the reason why, and I think they appealed to people for this, why you back this, why you back it now, is because you're essentially getting the good deal. And then you know that these 4 games are so popular that they're eventually going to go back to their regular price. Like it's a whole different way of Kickstarter, I think. Because it's like,
so Forrest, here, let me just put this to bed because you're wrong. Okay, this is why you're wrong. The reason why they're not shipping it all out until later date is because they're not going to ship you the stuff they've already printed now and then ship the rest of it, because that's going to be double shipping, and nobody's going to pay double shipping on it. So
And then they
there's
would have
space.
stock.
They have 1 million copies of Space Games sitting around. They have 1 million copies of Tiny Towns, 1 million copies of Kobutos, 1 million copies of War Chest sitting in warehouses. Because I know, because I have talked to John Zinzer and I've talked to him, and I know what his print runs are. So he has thousands of these games sitting in warehouses right now. They're going to print out the new ones, and that'll be the brand new stuff. And the date they're saying we're going to send this stuff out is when those new games hit the warehouse. They bundle it all together and send it out the door.
so are you saying this is not a great idea? Like I
I'm
think
not
the
sa- I-
Kickstarter's
I'm not saying I'm not
I mean,
saying I'm
it's
not
a
saying
good-
anything. I mean,
they're selling direct.
They're selling direct. They're I
Yeah,
mean
they're cutting
they're
out all the
making
stores.
more money because they're by selling them this way. They're making more money. But I'll the thing is Gray Fox Games has been doing this with every single one of our Kickstarters we've ever done in the Pledge Manager. In the Pledge Manager, we offer Champions of Midgard for $40.
Yeah,
And people
everybody
can buy
does
it.
that. Like that's really common, but they're like owning it. Like they're used cars sailing it. And that's what I love about the video.
Yeah,
It's like that is the Kickstarter almost. So like we're cutting the price.
But you know what's dumb is that most people already have these games. That's why this is not like, you can say all day long that, oh, look, they got 170 grand. And hey, that's nothing to sneeze at. Cool, you got 170 grand. But as Aldi said, if they can sell Space Base for $45, they'd sell it for $45.
Yeah.
They're selling it for $29 because why? Because if they're selling it through distribution, they're probably getting $19 for every copy they sell through distribution. So this is a way that they can earmark those copies for sale later. They're going to probably get them out the door before the end of the year, theoretically. So then they don't have to.
That's
then,
even extra good for your Kickstarter backers.
So if
Like,
they get them,
boom.
if they get them out the door before the end of the year, that means you don't have stock that you're going to have to pay taxes on. That you have that you
So
show
once
that-
again, it's a fantastic idea. Like
Yeah, well, no,
you
it's-
do the same thing, but
it's-
they're owning it. Like that is the focus of this project. It feels like almost.
No, they're not owning it because they're making people think they're going to print all this stuff off and they're going to ship it later. They're not saying we got all these games rotting away in our warehouse that nobody wants. So
Does Kickstarter charge taxes anymore? I mean, I don't know if they've done it. Like, is there a tax?
Do they? I don't.
I
Not
don't
to my
think so.
knowledge.
they just take the 9%
Also-
off the top.
I love that video. I think it's
So
fantastic.
nobody's paying taxes on these products?
Oh, the companies pay the taxes.
No, but and Forrest, I love you, but the
How are
reason
they
why you
doing
love
that?
it is because you don't understand how it works, and so
How
to
do
you
they-
it's
how do they
fresh
pay
and
the
new
taxes?
and exciting. But I mean, for anybody that's actually works in the business, you're like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
but
know-
it's,
I know
it's-
exactly
it's
what you're
appealing to Kickstarter backers. Like that's what
how
I'm
do-
going off of. Like
do
I
they
think
know
it did a great job appealing to people.
There's 2 ways to do taxes, and one of them is the regular way, and the other way is if you have these big cyclical projects that happen like Kickstarters, then it's not the year end that determines income versus outflow, then it's project based.
Oh, I was just
You-
talking about sales tax.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, income tax is totally different.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was wondering about sales taxes, but I didn't see any sales taxes on Kickstarter lately, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I
you
think it
know the
depends on-
reason why stores have end of year sales? It's because every single piece of inventory they have, you end up paying tax on that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you are trying to shove shit
yeah.
out the
Yes.
door as fast as possible before the end of the year.
Yeah. We didn't know that when we first opened our game store, and like 2 years in, the IRS was like, "Hey, you owe us like 80 grand," and we were like, "What's that now?" They're like, "Yeah, you misfiled. You have all this stock," and you
wait,
know
who's
That's rough.
that was my game store that we opened back in 2010.
So yeah, I mean, like
Still in business. We survived.
there's a game store at in Fargo that about midway through, well, no, you have until like February to ditch it, because then you can do some crazy bookkeeping and whatever.
It was
but,
on its way out.
Yeah, exactly. But there's one that's that in January they always come in and make an offer. Like literally it's like the more you buy, the more we'll cut down. So like I've been in there when people have gone in and they've like, the big giant, $100 like D&D minis, like the big giant dragon, the big giant this thing, everything. I walked in and the guy was like, I will take his, he was like, I want to take those 6. And it was like, $700 worth of D&D minis, big giant dragons. And he said, will you take $300 for it? And they're like, yeah, sure. Done. Just get them out the door.
Yeah. Get it going.
Get it going.
Make our cost back and don't pay taxes on it.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, it was, just to get it out the door. I mean, last time I went in, I like picked up 2 giant Call of Cthulhu, the 2 big, the Horror and the Orient Express and the Masks of Nyarlathotep, which are 2. It's basically $250 worth of books. I paid $100.
Oh, damn it! Sorry,
Bless you.
trying to click that button.
What?
I was trying to click the mute button as fast as I could.
I'm gonna take off, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Thanks,
gonna say
Talk
we
to
should
you
probably call it a night anyway.
Oh,
so.
don't stop on my behalf.
No. I got a son who wants to watch Star Wars, so I mean, I'm gonna go up and hang out.
That's
with him.
pretty tough to ignore.
At 1 a.m.
Yeah, he's a night owl like me.
Okay.
I mean,
Star
I
Wars
mean,
time.
truth be told, I'll fall asleep in front of the couch on the couch in a half an hour. But hey, there's gonna come a day when my son won't ask me to do that with me anymore.
Right.
So
Yep.
I'm taking advantage of while I can.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to end the party.
Yeah, I was
That's
heading that direction anyway there. Remember, no boom for 2 weeks. I am in Vegas a week from today, and then I'm at Origins 2 weeks
and then
from
What's
today.
in Vegas?
Vegas, baby.
What's in Vegas?
My
Casinos.
wife's best friend is getting married, so
Oh, in Vegas? Wow.
yeah.
Cool. We'll have fun, man.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, gambling is kind of like for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more there to like, you can usually find, there's a really, really good taco place that you can walk to for most of the, like it's right across the street from I forget which casino it is, but I mean, man, it's just like the tacos are amazing. So it's more of the food for me.
Tacos are amazing.
Tacos are. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, no, there's a local. I found out that right next to my son's taekwondo gym, there is a guy from he is a Mexican chef, and he came up here, got his citizenship, and now he has Azteca authentic Mexican tacos. And man, I go in there. Yeah, they are amazing.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sold.
just kind of like, okay, get out of the car, son. Go to taekwondo. I gotta go to the taco place.
I gotta go eat every taco.
Yeah, and then on weekends he has flautas and what's the one I'm looking for here? Not enchiladas, not burritos.
Sole.
Tamales. He has tamales on the weekends. Ooh, tamales are amazing. So anyway, Good night, everybody.